1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville revealed some information while he was in Montgomery this past Thursday, and it's regarding the FBI. Tuberville spoke at a Chamber of Commerce breakfast and said that an FBI surge is coming to the capital city in a short period of time. Tuberville said that the FBI agents will not be visible to the public, but will be there and intent on investigations as well as backing up local law enforcement. Tuberville says FBI Director Kash Patel has been doing this type of quiet operation in several cities across the nation. The news from Tuberville comes a day after Montgomery police made 2 arrests regarding a shootout that occurred over a week ago in the downtown area, killing 2 people and injuring 12. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The recently retired basketball coach for Auburn University, Bruce Pearl, has announced his next career steps. Pearl will now become part of CBS Sports, bringing analysis to regular season games and coverage of the NCAA tournament. Pearl started coaching at Auburn back in 2014. His son, Stephen, has now taken up the mantle of coaching the men's basketball team. Publix Grocery Stores has put out a recall of ice cream sold in 6 states, including Alabama. The Publix Rich and Creamy Vanilla ice cream may have an undeclared egg allergen in it that could cause serious illness to those who are allergic to eggs. No injuries are reported at this time. Customers who purchase the product can get a full refund at Publix. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. What is a smart way to buy a house in today's market? Now is a good time to buy since we now have a more balanced market than we've had in years. Here are the steps. First step, get pre-qualified with an experienced local lender. It costs you nothing to find out firsthand whether you can qualify for a home and how much that home loan will cost. Second step, hire a local realtor with lots of experience that can guide you, advise you, and be your advocate. We call those buyer agents. Third step, decide what your wants and needs have to be. Bedrooms, baths, floor plan, location, and skill zones. Fourth, ask your realtor to line up homes that fit your price category and your location needs. Fifth, start actually looking inside these homes and see what is available and the cost of each property. For all of this information and step-by-step approach, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Friday edition of the show. Plenty to get to today, but I think a good way to start off this Friday is to bring on to the program here. We have Congressman Gary Palmer from Alabama 6th 6th District, joining us live here on the phone. Congressman Gary, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Joey. How are you?
Doing all right. So first, let's start with the shutdown politics. I've been mocking, to be honest, a lot of what your Democratic colleagues have been trying to put across. When do you think this ends? And really, this does seem to be on them at this point.
It is on them, and I don't think it's going to end until after this big march Saturday, and I'm not sure it's going to end after that. But what you're observing is how the Democratic Party has been taken over by the extreme left wing, socialist Marxists. And that Schumer is scared to death that he's going to get primaried by AOC, and this left wing, extreme left wing crowd's where their money comes from.
Yeah, and it seems that you're right. A lot of folks are saying that the No Kings protest, maybe they'll actually get their senses about them after that date. But I'm also wondering, are they willing to play such a game as to, let's say, the Obamacare subsidies actually go unaddressed and, let some things break so they can hopefully point the finger at the Republicans?
Well, you got to remember that the subsidy expiration dates were set by the Democrats. They were in the majority. They put them in place, and what they really are is they want to extend the big spending on COVID. That's where the enhanced subsidies came from. But what I did an interview earlier today, and I made the point that any time they want to sit down and have a clear-headed discussion about these subsidies, they can do that. All they got to do is vote for the continuing resolution to allow the government to be funded until November 21st. And I know our leadership team will be happy to sit down and have this discussion.
And what do you think of the work since we last talked? Lots happened with Doge, but I'm looking at Russ Vogt there at OMB. What do you make of the work he's continuing to do? I personally really like him in that position and how he's driving the train there.
Well, I like Russ. He's a solid guy, and what he's trying to do is what all of us are trying to do is get our country back in shape fiscally to secure the future for our kids and our grandkids. I point out to people, we've got government programs that don't exist anymore that still have money in them. We've got so many duplications of services, it's ridiculous. And what Russ is trying to do is to make government work the way it's supposed to work as efficiently as we can, so we don't drive our debt higher and higher. And so I stand behind what he's trying to do, and I think what the Democrats are doing here is they're proving there are a lot of government employees that we don't need. I was asked today, what am I hearing from my constituents, and I'm really not hearing much. I think that what I do hear is concerns about our military not being paid and our federal law enforcement, people like that. But I think a lot of people realize that our government's gotten too big and too out of control on the spending side.
100% agree, and I'm hearing the same things. The only concern I've heard are service members, active duty in particular, going to get paid. And I think the White House is being creative and making sure of that. And before we do a deep dive here on what China's done and the response from the United States government on rare earth minerals, do a quick tour around the rest of foreign policy. So first, your reaction to this peace deal that maybe it'll hold. Everybody think folks on both sides of this are thinking it won't hold, but what do you make of this deal put together between Israel and Hamas and many other nations in the region?
I think the most interesting part of it is how the Arab nations and the Islamic nations have come together as a part of this deal. And I think the best way, maybe the only way, to get Hamas under control is for these Arab and Islamic nations to take that on themselves to do it, and in particular Iran. Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorist organizations. It's not just Hamas, it's the Houthis, it's Hezbollah. So from my perspective, I would like to see them step up and take whatever actions necessary to crack down on Hamas. Well, but I do think there is an opportunity here, and Trump's going about it the right way, for a new Middle East. and for a potentially a prosperous Middle East.
And to me, all this is like the United States needs to be able to not have as many resources and just our focus and attention on the Middle East. The next area we would love to settle would be Eastern Europe, and of course the war between Ukraine and Russia. Trump announcing he's meeting with Putin in Budapest any moment now, going to meet with President Zelensky there at the White House. What do you make of the suggestion that the president has made pretty explicitly of selling Tomahawk cruise missiles to NATO and Ukraine?
Well, I think Russia's brought this on themselves. They've not been honest brokers, and Putin is a thug. And I think President Trump has come to realize that he's not trustworthy. We estimate, or at least the military people who do these estimates indicate that they think Russia suffered about over 1 million casualties.
Wow.
And by that, about a third of those would be killed. This has been devastating for Russia, and I think what Putin's been able to accomplish is something that we couldn't, and that is to get the NATO nations to step up and start carrying more of the load themselves, and literally brought Finland and Sweden into the NATO fold. So I'm very hopeful that the meeting with Putin in Budapest will not be like the one in Alaska, where Putin is leading us along. But I do think that Ukraine needs the ability to fully defend itself against the Russian aggression.
And now I think if all these things are settled and the president is moving so quickly, and we haven't even mentioned our own backyard with the cartels and in particular things with Venezuela, but it all, to me, needs to be focused on China in a large degree. I know you've been a leader on the rare earth minerals issue. And so if you could, for me and for the audience, what did the Chinese government recently do that was so just brazen? How is the Trump administration responding? What's the game here? What are the stakes?
This is kind of nerding out on people, but most people are totally unaware that there are certain rare earth elements and certain critical minerals that we have to have for our economy to work, for us to maintain our national security. And I pointed out to people, without them, you not only can't make an F-35, you can't make a washing machine. And China controls the processing and refining of those elements. There's not a single major refinery for rare earth elements in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh.
If I said there wasn't one in the United States, that'd be problematic enough, but there's not one in the entire Western Hemisphere. I was asked to be on a panel with members of the European Parliament back in December, and I made this point that the competition's not between the U.S. and Canada, it's not between the U.S. and Europe, it's between the West and China. And China doesn't want to be a superpower, they want to be the superpower. And they've been planning this for years. And a lot of people didn't realize what happened back earlier this year, but China cut us off from refined rare earth elements. They cut Europe off, and literally there were car companies in Europe, manufacturing facilities, had to shut down production lines. So China reinstated it for 6 months, and it expires December 1st. And it's really going to be a problem. Now, the good news is the Trump administration is on top of this. They've got the exact right guy leading the effort. I talked with him this week. I chair the subcommittee on environment that has oversight over this, has oversight over the EPA, and all of these things in combination. This is going to be like our effort in the 60s to put a man on the moon. We're going to secure our supply chain of these processed and refined minerals and elements.
And the other thing I mentioned, how important is it that we get our own backyard, the Western Hemisphere, under, like, let's just say under our control, to put it mildly, especially as you see, say, the buildup in action against the cartels, including military assets very much in the region now. Does this make sense in terms of the larger direction that the Trump administration is taking things geopolitically?
Well, obviously, the sinking of these drug boats is pretty significant, but also the fact that Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, is in the White House this week. That's Trump signaling to these other countries as they prepare to hold elections where the U.S. is on this. And there's very significant elections occurring in Brazil next year, and Colombia, and I'm hopeful that Milei is going to be reelected in Argentina. I've been working with various folks from Latin America on a Western Hemisphere alliance and in Europe. I just met with a delegation from Latvia yesterday. I've met with folks from all over Europe and Central Asia, the Indo-Pacific. People have waked up, Joey, to the fact that China's not their friend. And there's going to be a new alignment that I think is going to be historic, and President Trump's leading it. Despite all the negative stuff that the left says about him, this is a guy that the rest of the world respects, and they're following him. I mean, so and when you look at Marco Rubio, President Trump could not have picked a better Secretary of State at this time in our history than Marco Rubio, and it's going to pay major dividends for us in Central America and South America.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with Marco Rubio as well, and just the amount of jobs it's enough to be just Secretary of State. The amount of jobs he's doing for this president is remarkable, and I think he is doing it well. And I kind of want to leave on something fun. I don't know if you had time, and it could end up not just being fun, but a very serious issue. I'm looking at a quote from Marco Rubio saying something is flying over our nuclear sites, and it's not ours. And this is a part of a trailer for a new documentary called The Age of Disclosure. It's going to be dropping in theaters in November and on Amazon in November. And I'm just wondering, have you had time to talk to, say, like Representative Burchett or Luna or any of these folks that have been diving deep into this stuff? Like, what is this UAP activity?
Well, I've been in some of the briefings about the unidentified objects, and my conclusion is that I don't think it's as some of them would believe from another planet. Just to be blunt about it, I think if there were information about something like that China would know, Russia would know, the major powers would all know, and we wouldn't be talking about trade wars. I think all of these governments would be working together to prepare for something that is more an existential threat than anything else we've ever faced before. Given that, that's just a logical response to what I've been told, is that I think this could very well be a foreign power. It could be our own vehicles that we're dealing with. Anyway, I don't get too deep into that because there are other things that I think are more pressing, like we talked about with securing our supply chains, not only of critical minerals and rare earth elements, but of pharmaceuticals. 80% of the ingredients we have for our pharmaceuticals come either from China or India, and a lot that comes from India originated in China. So we've got our hands full right now with just dealing with things here in this world.
Well, I hear you loud and clear. And actually, let's end on this one. I've been talking about in detail, especially since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then watching the memorial, and seeing people like Marco Rubio and the vice president, J.D. Vance, but as well as just Erica Kirk and so many others that just amazing moments in sharing the gospel with the world. And you're also seeing it's a long-term trend now. It's about a 5-year trend of just an uptick in the amount of Bibles being sold, the amount of prayer apps and different things, the amount of people going back to church or converting for the first time. And so what do you make of this moment? It does seem like that revival event is what I would call it, the memorial for Charlie Kirk. I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime in American politics.
What I've been praying for the last 35 years, working in anticipation of this coming. And I heard someone say something one time that we all stand in the shadow of the cross and there's no redemption without the shedding of blood. And it just all kind of rang true with Charlie's assassination and then his memorial service. And you and I've talked, Joey, I've been writing my own devotions for years as a way to minister myself and keep myself accountable. But sitting there watching that memorial service and then learning that they think over 100 million live streams, that potentially over 100 million people heard the gospel from the most unlikely of sources, it's just amazing. And I've heard that there were record numbers of baptisms in Europe. that this could be, in Charlie's own words, it could be the turning point.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good note to end on, and amen. And I always appreciate your time, your insights, Ed, and the work you're doing on so many issues. And yeah, come on down to the studio sometime, man. Like, I would love to see you in person, Gary.
Well, I'll come down. If you want to do a radio town hall, I'll just come down, sit in the studio, and take calls and answer whatever questions people have, if you want to do that sometime.
I'm 100%. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, Joey.
All right. Thank you, sir. Again, that's Congressman Gary Palmer for Alabama's 6th District. Again, always appreciate his time and insights. And that seemed like a very calm way to begin a Friday program, I must admit. And you know what? I like, if his office is still listening, I like when he nerds out on the rare earth mineral stuff. I like that stuff. That's one of his best qualities. Really appreciate that. But hey, in the studio with me, we have an entire crew here. We got Eddie Bader, though I guess I'm announcing the last first. Hey, Eddie, how are you doing?
All right. What do you mean the last? What, am I chopped liver again?
You were last to the studio.
Because I brought snacks.
Oh, okay. That's the excuse. You brought snacks?
Yeah.
Snacks are the excuse?
Smelling salt. I wanted you to.
Smelling salt? Oh, God. Maybe we'll
I
have to
watched
get
the
into
thing on
that.
last night. Wow.
I don't know about that. Also, we got Troy Carrico here in the studio.
Good, happy Friday.
And how does it feel sitting behind Rambo Trump like
Listen,
that right there?
I'm invigorated.
He's got your
Every
back,
time I'm
buddy.
here, he's got my back.
Yep.
You know, I'm packing, he's packing. We're
Yep.
all ready, baby.
Boy.
And if somebody comes on that door on your backside,
Oh,
I
they're
got
going
you
to leave
six,
with a lot of
brother. It's going
lead.
to be a volley of hellfire coming
Good.
their way. man.
Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
And I'll miss you. Trust me. I can,
Yeah, I will.
Just shoot through
I
it,
will
we'll be
get
all right.
down. Seriously, I have thought about it. Like, if I'm sitting right
I
here,
got
I'm
you, brother.
like, it's gonna have to be a very pliable move to get down because I'm kind of
Just know,
stuck
yeah, Joey's going
locked
to
in
sit
here.
there. Just shoot around him. That's
Oh, I
that's
got
the
it.
plan.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm like William Tell. You know, I'm going to fire that to Apple.
And then the first person who was here to accompany me in the studio,
Mhm.
the lovely Hannah. Hannah, oh, I didn't even set up your camera. How are you, Hannah?
Joey, good.
The first person. This is how much you appreciate the first
Yeah.
person. And but yeah, I'm the wrong one.
I
for being
also
late?
feel like I should have the title of your newest bestie.
I don't know about that.
really.
You
Joey.
got to earn that.
Joey, we're there.
You got to earn that.
We're
Did you
there.
not see her piano solo?
I
she's
heard
ready to
some of it,
jam
yeah.
with you?
Yeah, no. all
I told
cool.
him. I texted him yesterday. I was like, we should have a jam session.
Yeah, and I said, cool, right?
Cool. He wasn't like, oh, I'm
He's
so
very
excited. He
non-committal.
tried like,
That's Joey.
I mean, maybe.
You'd have to drag the piano in here.
Can't please anybody. You know, I got a lot on my mind.
I just
Sure
need
you
a
do.
little
This
bit
is why I got
commitment.
neck problems from the weight of what I know.
Oh,
It's that
well.
hair.
Yeah, man.
I
Beautiful
forgot
hair
your
you got,
texture
Joey.
spray again.
Yeah, you did. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. How is everybody today? It's just great,
Nah.
grand, wonderful.
Yeah.
Remember, no yelling on the bus.
That's right.
You didn't take the city bus, obviously.
No, I don't. I try not to. I try to stay away from stuff like that.
Dude, it's very cultural. You'll learn a lot from people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, there's several different things that we could get into today, like U.S. Special Ops units training in the Caribbean waters 90 miles off the coast of Venezuela. Is the Venezuelan military, they've militarized their border with Colombia? Is they're worried about U.S. action?
What about the survivors?
the survivors?
Yeah, you know, they blew up a partial
yeah.
sub yesterday, and they said there might have been survivors. They put out people to find them, but you never heard nothing else about it.
They blew up a sub?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
A drug
yeah.
sub, yeah.
I don't know how they would survive a sub being blown up.
I guess they're on fire, but they didn't survive the sharks.
That's okay. Now we just need to play that clip from Jaws. Where it's
I mean,
just-
Dude, you're in the middle of the ocean. Your stuff just got blown
Yeah,
up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Also, John Bolton, the mustache.
Yeah.
Justice coming for the mustache. I think 18 counts by a federal grand jury.
Oof.
And Mike Pence is implicated in all this, too.
Really?
Yeah.
The most concerning is the transmittal of top secret.
Yes,
It's one
sir.
thing to have possession of it. It's another when you transmit it on unclassified networks.
Mhm.
And this guy to go out on publicly, write the book, go on all these cable news networks and just mouth off at Trump. Mouth off at him, knowing he had done this stuff. Now it'll be proven, allegedly, it'll be court of law and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
but
like-
look at what Letitia James did. Every real estate deal she has done,
Oh, well.
she has cheated and lied about the mortgage payment.
It's amazing.
And this is going to every one she's done, every single one. But she went after Trump for that. So,
What is it with liberals and fat
done
women
for.
as their leaders? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Foul mouth too.
Also, in local Alabama politics, one new poll says the leader we were wrong presuming things.
Huh?
We were thinking like front runners be like Steve Marshall, Barry Moore, right?
Yeah.
The leader in this poll, Jared Hudson.
Those, I need to caution you. Those numbers have been,
Oh, they've been
I know
massaged a bit?
I know for a fact, if Jack's listening, he can call in and explain. Jack was very, very livid. Let's just say that Jared is borrowing a lot of Morgan's steam. I'm going to leave it at that, but
Okay.
I would challenge those numbers greatly that Jared put out.
Okay. Yeah. When I saw him, I didn't quite believe him, especially because the number, it's like within the margin of error, number one, and number two, it shows 36% of people undecided.
That's the big thing. And, you know, this is a guy who went out and made a statement at a recent event. And we're checking his bona fides right now as we speak, his DD-214s. I don't think he is who he claims to be.
Oh, nice.
And let me say this, he made a statement, and this is why I know.
Yeah.
I've been in two nasty IEDs. Any man that would say, oh, it's like waking up with a hangover the next morning for partying. I'm like, you're a jackass.
Yeah.
You're a jackass.
Well, if you're going to be a partisan
Faker.
against Jared Hudson, I'm going to have to bring on a partisan for him, though.
You're going to have to.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
I'd love to.
No,
I'd love
you
to
say
talk
whatever
to him.
you want.
I would love to talk
Yeah.
to him. I'd
Yeah,
love to talk
actually,
to him and
I'd love
say,
to
hey,
see
let's
that
let's compare notes. What you've done. Yeah.
But it's a Quantis Insights poll shows him leading 27%, Steve Marshall at 24%, Barry Morley at 9%, Morgan Murphy and Rodney Walker at 2%. Yeah.
Early
Early.
governor's race.
Hmm?
Jamal Brown still leading in the governor's race.
Go ahead, man. I still would have Jamel.
Don't tempt me because I got the number.
Like I would tell him, like this is not.
It
I'm
has
not
to be a
coming
very
here to-
limited
Where's
time
the flat
interview.
earther at in that standing?
Oh, Dean Odom? I don't
He's
know.
beyond that. But yeah.
Hey, and Dean is really a nice
He's
guy.
very-
I like
he
Dean a
is.
lot.
He's
That's-
very nice. He's
That's
very
the
nice.
thing that killed me about Dean. I'm sitting there, oh, I love this guy, and then all of a sudden, oh,
I
the earth
don't
is
know.
flat.
Yeah, but you don't even believe in the moon landing. You're just one step away.
Dude.
Yeah,
No,
how-
I believe that the earth is
How does he
circular.
reconcile that to you?
Yeah, I don't
How does he
know.
The moon
reconcile
landing?
that
No.
belief?
How could you?
just
How?
take
Why?
it
I'm
when
a
the-
flat
when the-
earther. How? Prove to me the Earth is not flat.
I've seen
Go up
it.
in a plane or talk to a sniper or take a long shot.
I flew in a MiG-25 and saw the curvature of the
There you
earth,
go.
and I know that it's
I
not
don't,
flat.
I don't
okay?
doubt that at all. However, when that moon lander was landing, who was operating the camera?
Yeah, right.
This guy.
Well, by the way, this could be completely ruined if, in particular, like Paul Feinbaum actually jumps into the Senate race.
Yes.
I know.
I think everybody's done. That could be over the
Do you
top.
think
and
he's got a
too
pretty
soon.
decent chance?
Yes, he has a huge
He's
name
got
ID.
that name ID. Yeah.
Everybody knows in Alabama. Hey, Paul. Like everybody
so
knows
true.
this. Like so, that's going to be very much to his advantage. Now, having done this for over 10 years, I can only imagine the stuff Feinbaum has said over 30, 40 years of
especially with
doing
callers,
radio.
dude.
Yeah. But honestly, I think
But it's
it's kind
Feinbaum.
of like the Trump effect. Like
Yeah.
people already know about you. And so since they already know you or feel like they know you, any dirt you throw out and be like, yeah, but I know
That's
that
it.
guy. He's my friend.
Yeah.
As
That's
opposed
it.
to like a brand new face and you throw out the dirt and you define them with that. So that could be a game changer.
That's
And in another one, it could be the year of football is AJ McCarron.
Yeah.
Is showing really good if he jumped into a race, whether lieutenant governor or something. So it's just like, okay.
Only in Alabama.
Yeah.
It's gonna be entertaining, needless to say.
It's a very
It'll be entertaining, yeah.
it's going to be a very Alabama cycle. I also have a story that I'm not going to make the same mistake of trying to read it all in one segment, but I do want to hit on it because I think it's a really cool theory written by a woman named Helen Andrews.
Oh, you expect
And-
women now?
What are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry, my bad.
Well, let me
mic on? My bad.
finish. Let me finish.
My bad.
All right. Stop it with your womanly interruptions. It's never enough for Eddie. Never enough. Never enough.
Never.
Helen Andrews wrote, "How I came to see the Great Feminization as the most significant event of our century and a potential threat to civilization."
A lot of
Interesting.
people
That'll be an interesting
gonna,
read.
Agree with that. I
Still
think.
want to be besties for the resties?
We are already. There's no backing out.
Yeah, there's no
Goodness
backing out.
For life.
Is this how this happens?
Yeah, that's how it
Oh,
goes.
that's just like, anyway, we got to hit a break though. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. You know, they're doing the new wildlife thing.
Yeah, I saw that, Joey.
Yeah.
I
And by
saw
that, I mean, normally they can help you with those insects and you get on that monthly subscription
Yep.
plan, get the basic pest control, and then you can get on top of that termite treatments, mosquito treatments, fleas and ticks in the yard,
Yeah.
fire ants, all that
ants,
stuff.
everything.
But now, as we get closer to the cooler months, fall and winter, mice are going to try to get inside. Squirrels are going to try to get inside. Maybe raccoons.
Cletus had a mouse in his mouth yesterday.
Cletus?
Cletus, somebody's cat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're coming, and they coming to the house, dude. They're looking for that place to warm up for the winter.
So they are now doing this wildlife control service, and it's not just about getting them out. Say you hear something bump in the middle of the night or something weird as you're going around your house during the day. It might very well could be a squirrel, something like that. But not only will they remove the squirrel, they will figure out how to get in there and make sure it's all sealed off. It's all about long-term prevention with their wildlife control services. It's something you really need to get checked out early. It might be you haven't heard anything. You just need to get your place checked to make sure it is secure. Call them up there at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. What do you want to know? Call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie and Troy and Hannah, the whole gang on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Boo! Guess who? That's right. This is Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage, where we make mortgages easy. If your finances are haunting you, it's time to call Alabama Home Mortgage. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. What if I told you that the money you've been looking for all this time is in your home? This is no trick. By refinancing your mortgage, you may be eligible to lower your interest rate or eliminate monthly mortgage insurance. Would you like to pay off credit card debt, make home improvements, or fund a large purchase? A mortgage refinance may be the answer. What are you waiting for? If your current mortgage payment makes you scream, then it's time to call the Alabama Home Mortgage Team. Clear the cobwebs. Call me, Kim Williams, today at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention business owners. Did you know that about 90% of employees and customers are unhappy when they walk into a dirty building? Let Janny King, the king of clean, keep your business pristine. Janny King's local franchise owners can handle your cleaning needs with reliable, hands-on cleaning solutions that deliver more than just a clean space. Janny King comes with regional support, which ensures consistency and quality, allowing you to focus on all the other needs of your business. Go to JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Holy cow, Benji. Gold has gone up to $4,000 an ounce. How can our audience cash in at Marguerite's?
At Marguerite's, we do more than sell jewelry. We also buy jewelry. If you have old jewelry, broken jewelry, jewelry that you don't know what it is, bring it to us and we'll pay you for it. So don't let your old jewelry collect dust. Let Marguerite's pay you for it. Take advantage of gold being at an all-time high. Come see us at Marguerite's and let us give you some money.
Tell them where they can find you, Benji.
We're at 8163 Vaughn Road at the Pepper Tree Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-348-8569. 800-348-8569. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-348-8569.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show, and if you can hear this, we want to come see you.
You heard right!
David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show want to come to your town just to say hello. All you have to do is let them know who you are and where you are. It's as simple as that.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, yes, it is.
What do we have to do?
Write your name on the back of a $20 bill. Then, sorry, that's the wrong offer. If you would like David Ernest and the crew from the Health and Wealth Show to come visit you, call toll-free 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE. Tell us your name. Tell us where you are. Tell us your phone number. And maybe we'll come see you. If that method is not to your liking, get on Facebook. Go to Ernest Financial, Montgomery, Alabama. Click on the page. Then click on the pinned post at the top, and there's all the information you need. David Ernest wants to come see you. Brought to you by Ernest Financial, LLC, serving the community for over 40 years.
New CBS Tonight.
Please get out of the way!
Detective Danny Reagan from Blue Bloods in a new city.
Trouble follows you, huh?
Only in Boston. With a new partner.
Danny, you have a reputation.
Yeah, for getting things done. Johnny Wahlberg. Sometimes dotting I's and crossing T's has to come second to right and wrong. Sonequa Martin Green.
It would be a problem if he wasn't right so often.
The new CBS original Boston Blue.
Ready to run it back, Brooklyn?
Try and stop me, Beantown.
Boston Blue tonight at 9 p.m. on WAKA.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are into another very warm, late October day. Still dry with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature today in the upper 80s again. Tonight, not quite as cool as it has been. Overnight low temperature down to the low 60s with mostly clear skies. Another day in the upper 80s and storm-free tomorrow, Saturday. In fact, I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have football plans or whatever you're doing on Saturday evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. That's ahead of a cold front, by the way. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Fat broads and horse-faced
Shut
lesbians.
up, silly woman.
Joey Clark.
Welcome in to the program. Friday edition. Honestly, I'm thinking I'm feeling a little under the weather for the first time in a long time, but I'll power through.
Allergies?
Yeah, I think so. But not as bad as past years, but I'll power through. Yeah, just kind of like, ooh, which is probably good for me. I've been a little angry the last few weeks. So.
What have you done anything to kind of work through your anger this week? Didn't this your week off?
I yell and scream on the radio.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't this your week off that you don't work out and stuff?
You're right. No, I just yell and scream on the radio.
Have you cried?
I have been blocking people.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Very liberally.
Oh,
like seriously, folks I've known for years. I put up that post that you didn't pull the trigger, but y'all have murdered and continue to murder Charlie Kirk in your hearts.
Glad you put that
And
up
I'm
too.
sorry, every lib that had some contradicting thing to say, you blocked. I'm not even arguing with you. I'm sorry. You knew my mom? You're blocked. I'm sorry. You used to call for 10 years to the radio show? You're blocked. I don't want any of your nonsense. You're done.
Joey Clark's becoming an old man.
I'm proud of you.
Yep.
You know, it's the only way to use Facebook because, my God, who spends all their time arguing on that medium or arguing on
My
X
mother.
for that matter? Like, it's a huge waste of time. And by the way, all you libs that I blocked, if you know me, you know where to find me. You want to actually have a conversation? We can do that. That's how I'm getting it out, Eddie.
So they know where to find you. You're not putting out your address, and there's only one of two places you go.
Yes.
So you want them to come here.
272
I got a phone number.
Okay,
but because of modern technology, people don't want to have phone conversations anymore.
He's not saying meet me at my door and we'll
Well,
figure this
I'm
out like
saying,
men.
you know where I'm at. So I'm just like, okay. Well.
Kiss me for my gun. Right. None of that. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, that's how I've been.
Remember,
Getting some
Joey,
anger out.
every time you do it, God kills a kitten. Think of the kittens, Think of the kittens, please.
Don't put that on God.
Terrible thought.
He's got a point. So okay. I got to go to this clip.
Okay.
because this is a good way to continue with a lightened mood. Though it is often, too, the people I'm blocking, it is a certain demographic of women of a certain age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a certain look, and sometimes they have a cute little dog in their purse, or like they. In fact, I think your dog's more groomed than your stylist helps you out with, like these sorts of things. So this fits. This is a woman who, because of Donald Trump,
of a certain age, too, right?
Yeah, she's a little young.
I'd say 35 to 40.
Yeah, she's a little young. Usually they're more. They're like 50.
Yeah,
and it shows. And she left the United States of America.
Where'd she go?
I'm not sure. I think she reveals that it's somewhere to the south.
Okay.
And now she wants to come back.
Oh.
So let's think through the process here. The logical decision-making process here. And by the way, Hannah, what was your comment upon seeing this?
I can only look at one thing.
Yeah, she's wearing like what, a bathing suit, or
I feel like a man right now. The only thing I look at is one thing. I don't know what her
That's
face
a lot
looks
of-
like.
Honestly, but look at my boobs.
That's a lot of cleavage, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of gravity there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gravity's real strong down south.
Anyway, let's listen into her story.
If you're an American who is considering leaving the country to move somewhere else, make sure that the location you choose isn't based off of fear and lack mentality. I regret moving to Costa Rica.
British Honduras.
Yeah.
Costa Rica.
That's about as good as it gets, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I don't.
Okay, what
I
happened?
looked at that several times.
It's a beautiful country. I love the nature and wildlife, but moving to a third world country where I don't know the language, I don't have any connections, resources, or opportunities, that didn't make my life any easier.
No kidding.
Wow.
All this in hindsight, you're just realizing it. Oh, man.
By any means. I was just so scared of what's going on in America politically that I was in fight or flight. I was like, how am I going to afford to survive? Like, how am I going to find a place to live? Like, I was freaking out. And then I came here and made my life so much harder. And now I'm trying to go back, and I just like wish I didn't leave in the first place.
Right.
And it's so weird to like want to move to America right now with everything that's going on.
Right,
but
all the stuff going on.
I just left so many privileges and resources behind, and I want them back.
Oh, by the way, Ed, I'm not surprised by this. You think the whole message is like that?
Yeah.
This video is 3 minutes long. We're
Oh,
only a
good Lord.
minute in. So it's one of these classic things. But
Could you just start out by saying, hey, look what I did. Don't make the same mistake I did.
now,
Look at my boobs.
Hannah in particular, what do you think of this woman?
You really want me to answer this?
Yes. Yes. We've been waiting for this point of view for quite some time.
I don't have anything nice to say, and I don't know if it's.
That's what I'm looking
That's
for.
what we're looking for here.
I think she sounds a little bit unintelligent.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how you decide to pick up and move without even batting an eye at anything that you're about to change everything.
Though she can't be that dumb because she did have the resources enough to move to Costa Rica.
I think she had daddy's money.
She's liberated.
Yeah,
She's
I don't-
a liberated woman.
I mean, that's a huge decision to decide to pick up and move to a whole other country. I would do a little bit of research. I wouldn't just pick up.
Right.
And how do you not
Plus-
think? Job,
She probably
language.
She probably went to one of the like TripAdvisor and said, "Oh, Costa Rica sounds wonderful."
It does.
You know,
For a
it's fun.
vacation.
Yeah,
I
for a
think I'll do-
vacation.
No,
for-
you
for vacation.
got to
All
get into
included.
places that are like exclusive. Like if you could get actual like welcome into the fold to like Liechtenstein,
Oh, yeah,
go to
or
Liechtenstein.
Luxembourg or
Yeah.
Luxembourg,
Yeah, some of these tiny little
San
like
Marino,
nations.
San
Yeah,
Marino.
maybe even the Vatican.
Why
almost.
not? Yes.
Right. Why not? I don't know if I'd want to live in the Vatican. Though. That'd be a little much.
There'd be
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
ask you
spiritual heaviness.
Come on.
Possibly dumb question here.
Yeah.
You think she's wearing what she's wearing in hopes that a man will say, I got you, girl. Come on.
Okay.
You know what
that's
I was
the
saying?
question, but
It's
that's the
funny you
question. Let's
say
ask
that.
you that. Do you think she's wearing that? I do.
I think.
I mean, I would, in the way she's smiling, and
But I think she would make a man miserable somewhere.
Oh,
but nobody
absolutely.
would have her.
she just wants to get
No.
here. Somebody bring her over here.
But they-
That's all.
She'll bait him in. She'll get a couple bucks in her
but
Venmo.
make it
and-
miserable.
Gentlemen, lady, she hasn't finished her story,
Oh, good Lord.
and we should
We should
listen.
give
I
her
feel like
the
this is that
option.
long text that you look at and you don't want to read.
Yeah. You just put it in the
You're like,
box.
I'm not reading that.
Let's keep going with her story. Though.
It sucks, but
Yeah.
I kind of grew up in an interesting way. I was like the poorest person in the wealthiest rooms throughout most of my childhood.
Mm.
I was extremely wealthy till I was like age 6. I had this beautiful waterfront mansion with a private beach and pool. And then my parents got divorced and I ended up with a parent who didn't have money. So we were living.
Which one was that?
There we go.
Which one was that?
Well, she would have been a stripper if it was her dad. So I'm thinking.
That's 100%. Yeah. There's a reason.
Wait, did dad get a prenup?
Yeah. There's a reason dad left mom and probably left that one with her.
Anyway, this is sad. But like, how does this mean I decided to move to Costa Rica because of Trump?
Of like trailers and hotels and lower income housing, but I was still in these really wealthy situations. Like I was in private school and cotillions and dance lessons. And I always thought that I was so poor because I was the poorest person that I knew. And all of my friends had like millionaire and billionaire parents. Now that I've traveled, I've seen like real poverty and I'm like, oh, I wasn't poor. But
yeah, no kidding.
As a kid, I had these really luxurious vacations through my friends and family members where
there's 1 minute left of the story.
How do you sit there and go through live?
I had to hear this before. How do you sit through it twice?
How do I get my anger to subside?
You heard of being
I laughed.
educated beyond your intellect. That's an example right there.
Right. And sometimes it gets me. The stupidity gets to me. And then sometimes I see the stupidity. I'm like,
well, that's kind of enjoyable that she learned this lesson and she learned it the hard way.
No,
very true.
I do have a problem because there's a part of me, and I think I stole it from Tom Segura's dad. I just keep hearing it like he's a dumb broad.
Oh, 100%. Well, not broad, but yeah.
Like my first introduction to Costa Rica, it was like when I was 17 years old. I came with my friend's family and we stayed at exclusive resorts. We were having lunch at the Four Seasons, and like same with my Hawaii experiences. My family friends took me and we stayed at the Grand Wailea and the Hyatt, all these really fancy luxury resorts, and we would explore the areas too. But you know, living in Nonavale or Pahoa is very different than taking a vacation at the Grand Wailea or Four Seasons. So, you know, my travels and
like you don't even have to use words. That's just the I was poor and I was actually rich and very privileged.
Yeah.
And I want them back. I want the privileges back.
And her family probably won't bring her back.
Actually, I think that she's the one who opens up the show, Joey Clark. Let's finish this.
Moves, I've really realized how privileged I've been. And there's a lot of things that like made me run away from LA and Orange County, some traumatic experiences with terrible people. But I left a lot of resources and great people behind, and I need to be in those environments again. I really miss luxury environments.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I want those struggles in life to just have to realize that I was not at the bottom of it.
Sometimes people make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we love the internet.
Wow. Anyway, we have a piece coming up called The Great Feminization and how it might be a threat to civilization itself. And it was written by a woman.
That dovetails nicely.
Very interesting.
Not her, right?
No, not that woman. No, not at all. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Sweet Creek Farm Market. Folks, you got to get by Sweet Creek Farm Market. They're doing great things, especially this weekend. You know,
we got the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, kick off a fall always with the pumpkin festival.
That's right.
And they'll have a big old pumpkin patch for the pumpkin festival.
Inflatables that Joey says I'm too big to get on.
Yes, especially if you keep wearing those stilettos. That just pops.
I like my feet.
Right. Okay. You got calves big enough, man. You're good. They're already developed. How do you develop calves? Being fat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tote the rest of the body around. That's it.
But no, Sweet Creek, the pumpkin festival. Of course, free admission. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, both Saturday and Sunday. Very much family friendly. Bring the kids. It's the perfect environment if you got kids.
Like a petting zoo
around. Petting zoo. Like I said, the inflatables, hay rides, and like all sorts of like arts and crafts vendors and just things that you're going to love. And of course, it's a great time to also shop there.
Yep.
And it's all local produce, delicious fresh apples, fresh pears, plums, fresh eggs, and lots of pumpkins. Every kind of pumpkin you can imagine, even gourds.
Oh, I like a good gourd.
And of course, they got new crop sweet potatoes, pecans, all pecan and peanut candies, chocolate covered candies, and pies and cakes. And now I'm getting into territory.
Yeah, I know. What are you doing after the show?
You know, this guy loves a nice layered cake.
I do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
7 and 10 and 12 layer cakes are amazing.
Yeah, I know. I know. So folks, get by there. Not only is it a great local place to shop, it is going to be a blast. Great way to kick off the fall season with the Pumpkin Festival this upcoming weekend. Again, free admission. They're just 2 miles south of Taylor Road on 231. Find Reed Ingram. He's the man who makes this magic happen. Great establishment he's put together. So again, find Reed Ingram. Say, hey, I heard that Joey Clark fella. He sent me, and thank you for putting this together, Reed. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
And Jeff Marenko with Chappie's Deli.
One of the reasons Chappie's Deli has been around for over 32 years is Blue Water Broadcasting.
Yes, it is. And we have the perfect faces for radio.
We sure do. And if you have a perfect face for radio, call Blue Water.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway, still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care, just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Stronger up? Yeah. So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, normally at this time, we talk to Austin Marenko, but I think he's busy.
I think he is a little busy today, Joey.
We were just talking about off air how great his appearance on Tuesday was.
Yep,
and
very informative.
I know a lot of the audience enjoyed it.
Yep, they really did. My phone was blowing up.
And so, folks, if you're looking for great insight and expertise, as well as a team, multidisciplinary team. So, like Austin runs the brokerage just there, but they have CPAs. They have anybody that you might imagine plays into long-term wealth management. And it could be you're an individual trying to just set a long-term financial plan. It could be you got a family and you have you're just starting it out, need life insurance, and maybe want to start saving for those kids to go to college or trade school or whatever is going to be the actual thing you're going for, saving money for the kids. And of course, it could be you're more near the end of life and you have end of life concerns, want to get your affairs in order. Or maybe you run an endowment or a nonprofit, or you're managing a small business. Most of your wealth is tied up there. They can help you with all of this, all above the board there. So check them out. It all starts with a conversation. 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell the great team there at Invista Advisors that Joey, Eddie, Hannah, and Troy, the whole radio gang, sent you. So we only have 3 minutes here, and it looks like Trump is holding court once again from the White House. We want to end the Russia-Ukraine war. We want the killing to stop. That's what we want.
When you see China up there in the subtitles, do you say it the way he does?
China.
That's how it always goes through my head.
China.
You can't help it.
Oh, speaking of that.
You go over to China.
I mean, you just can't help it.
China. I love them. China.
I love them.
China. I have to have my China. China.
He's not done.
China now. China.
There's 40 more seconds of that. So China. Yeah. And I think, as we talked about with Congressman Palmer, the game is get out the Middle East, get out of Eastern Europe, let the Europeans take care of themselves, let the new Middle East rebuild itself, and then take care of our own backyard. with these cartels and put all the pressure and leverage and all the advantage we have on China.
If you stop to think about the breadth and width of accomplishments in less than a year, half a year, between the disarming, basically they neutered Iran. They've destroyed all the proxies that were part of the problems in the Middle East. They have put Russia on notice, and Russia has hit terminal velocity. It cannot achieve anything more conventionally. The other day, they had a large assault outside of Tuberville with 20 vehicles, and they destroyed like 12 of them. They can't do anything more. And he continues to lead in ways that it's refreshing after all the garbage we've been through for the past 8-10 years.
Yeah, and it shows like I started to develop this a few years back where it's like it doesn't, as much as like, again, that conversation with Congressman Palmer, you do need to get into the details of policy.
Sure.
You need people like that or wonks who can really go below the line and really understand things.
Nerds.
But I tend to think what makes the difference often is not the laws you have and not the policy you have. It is the person. It is the personality. It's the force of will. It is certain talents that are hard to put your finger on.
I think in military leadership, political leadership, organizational leadership, charisma and panache go a long way. And he is really good at, he likes to negotiate. We know that, but he's I think learned a lot from his first administration, and he's got good people now working for him. He's in good shape. And I mean, imagine 3.5 more years.
Well, and especially as we see all the folks who worked for him in the first term now being charged with crimes. It's like, oh man, he really did have a bunch of Judases in his midst.
He did.
Anyway, first hour in the can. Second hour coming up. Should we open up with that great feminization, or should we just? We can talk about it off air.
I mean, whatever. Just teasing away.
What does your shirt say?
Bushlight.
Bushlight?
It's the Halloween version of Bushlight.
Bushlight.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
There's a little ghost on the back, isn't there?
I think so.
I think it's got a little ghost on the back.
Are you going to do a bushlight? Are you dressing up for Halloween?
I don't know. Are we? It's a Friday and all that. What are we going to do?
I recently rewatched Kingdom of Heaven, actually, I think it was my first time. I can't believe I missed a great Ridley Scott movie.
Good.
And the main character, I'm like, I got Orlando Bloom hair. I just need to get a Crusader outfit.
Actually, you do.
I can just do that for Halloween.
Well, we should.
I don't want to be Templar. I think
I'll
want
come
to
as
be
a Templar.
You be Templar. I want to be one of more of these knightly
done.
orders.
Let's do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Or if I can get a leper's mask molded that quickly. I don't know if that's probably pretty expensive too.
I think I'm gonna get my face painted.
We'll do some of the intro music and stuff.
What?
That'd be great.
I don't know. I'm
like
a tiger.
like a big black nose. So you're like a cow.
That's not a bad
idea.
I was thinking more of a
Let's dress
tiger.
him a Saladin.
Oh,
Just bring in Saladin.
Saladin.
You just have to put a little brown face on.
Actually, no, Eddie, don't do that. Real quick, stealing time here. I know I was going to hit a break. I have a good friend, and I always remember this because I think we saved him from a truly unintentionally racist incident.
Oh.
He loves soul music.
Mm-hmm.
Like he listens to the ASU stations. Like he loves old school soul, and living with him, listen to so much just old school great records. And so he 1 year in college wanted to go as Gladys Knight and the Pips.
And the Pimps?
Pips.
Okay.
And he had the lady to go as Gladys.
Yeah.
And since he's one guy, what he was going to do is he would be a Pip.
One pimp?
Like with, to look at with the face.
Black face.
And then there would be little puppet Pips hanging off his shoulders. And I'm like, I didn't know you didn't mean it. I know you didn't mean it, but visualize it, man. Actually visualize it. Especially when Gladys ain't next to you.
Was it pre-Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
He could have
no, it was right around the same time.
He really could have gotten away with it.
He couldn't have gotten away with it.
Oh.
Like one photo of that would have been like, dude, just what are you doing? Just grow out.
It's a joke.
Just grow out the mullet and go do something hillbilly, man.
Ted Danson got away with it.
Oh God, yeah. Justin Trudeau got away with it. Jimmy Kimmel got away with it.
Governor Ivey got away with it.
Picking up the cigarette butts.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump meeting today with Vladimir Zelensky at the White House. It is their third sit-down to talk about the war this year. And it comes a day after Mr. Trump's lengthy phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin to seek an end to the war in Ukraine. Former Trump advisor John Bolton has pleaded not guilty to charges of sharing classified information. Bolton says, in fact, he is the victim of lawfare for speaking out against President Trump. And the accusations continue to fly in both directions on Capitol Hill over the ongoing government shutdown, now into day 17. House Speaker Mike Johnson announcing today that Democrats have voted for the 11th time not to fund the government. It's been a winning session so far on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is up 97 points. The NASDAQ up by just about 1. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are into another very warm, late October day. Still dry with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature today in the upper 80s again. Tonight, not quite as cool as it has been. Overnight low temperature down to the low 60s with mostly clear skies. Another day in the upper 80s and storm-free tomorrow, Saturday. In fact, I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have football plans or whatever you're doing on Saturday evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. That's ahead of a cold front, by the way. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed has vetoed a city council resolution to support financially troubled Jackson Hospital. It will now be up to the city council whether to override the veto. The issue is expected to be on the agenda at Tuesday's city council meeting, where a simple majority vote will override the mayor's veto. Following his veto of a city council resolution aimed at supporting Jackson Hospital, Mayor Stephen Reed released a statement. Reed explained he believes the council's resolution should be amended. Reed stated that he is not opposed to helping Jackson Hospital, but he believes the county government should lead hospital funding efforts. Stop the Violence will be arriving in Montgomery this weekend. The organization will meet at the Court Square Fountain on Dexter Avenue this Saturday. The Stop the Violence convoy will leave from the fountain at noon and arrive at the Capitol steps at 2 p.m. to deliver speeches. All who wish to join in their cause are encouraged to attend. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today. The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspect, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of the program here. In studio with me, Eddie Bader, Hannah Grantham, and Troy Carrico. And I'm looking at the piece by Helen Andrews at Compact Magazine. It's called The Great Feminization. And so I kind of want y'all to interrupt. If you hear a part of this, like jump in here. But she writes, saying, in 2019, I read an article about Larry Summers and Harvard that changed the way I looked at the world. The author, writing under a pseudonym J. Stone, argued that the day Larry Summers resigned as president of Harvard University marked a turning point in our culture. The entire quote-unquote woke era could be extrapolated from that moment, from the details of how Summers was canceled, and most of all, who did the canceling? Women. The basic facts of the Summers case were familiar to me. On January 14th, 2005, at a conference on diversifying the science and engineering workforce, Larry Summers gave a talk that was supposed to be off the record. In it, he said that female underrepresentation in hard sciences was partly due to, quote, different availability of aptitude at the high end, end quote, as well as taste differences between men and women. So aptitude and taste differences, not attributable to socialization, is an exact quote of Summers' words. Some female professors in attendance were offended and sent his remarks to a reporter in defiance of the off-the-record rule. The ensuing scandal led to a no-confidence vote by the Harvard faculty, and eventually Summers resigned. The essay argued that it wasn't just the women that had canceled the president of Harvard. It was that they'd canceled him in a very feminine way. They made emotional appeals rather than logical arguments. When he started talking about innate differences in aptitude between men and women, I just couldn't breathe because this kind of bias makes me physically ill, said Nancy Hopkins, a biologist at MIT. Summers made a public statement clarifying his remarks, and then another, and then a third, with the apology more insistent each time. Experts chimed in to declare that everything Summers had said about sex differences was within the scientific mainstream. These rational appeals had no effect on the mob hysteria. This cancellation, writes Helen Andrews, was feminine, the essay argued, because all cancellations are feminine. Cancel culture is simply what women do whenever there are enough of them in a given organization or field. That is the great feminization thesis, which the same author later elaborated upon in a book at length. Everything you think of as wokeness is simply an epiphenomenon of demographic feminization. Now, I don't know, stopping here, I don't know if I buy that thesis. I think it's trying to explain too much, but it maybe is a big factor, could be a very big factor, and say a multi-factor explanation. Helen Andrews goes on. She says, the explanatory power of this simple thesis was incredible. It really did unlock the secrets of the era we are living in. Wokeness is not a new ideology, an outgrowth of Marxism, or a result of post-Obama disillusionment. It is simply feminine patterns of behavior applied to institutions where women were few in number until recently. How did I not see it before? Possibly because, like most people, I think of feminization as something that happened in the past before I was born. We think about women in the legal profession, for example. We think of the first woman to attend law school, 1869. The first woman to argue a case before the Supreme Court, 1880. Or the first female Supreme Court justice, 1981.
A much more important tipping point is when law schools became majority female, which occurred in 2016, and when law firm associates became majority female, which occurred in 2023. When Sandra Day O'Connor was appointed to the High Court, only 5% of judges were female. Today, women are 33% of judges in America and 63% of the judges appointed by President Joe Biden.
Are we ever any better off?
What do you think?
No. But not just because it's women, it's people. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. At the end of the day, most of them are pretty wrong.
So you aren't sold on the thesis yet that the wokeness is just feminization?
No. I think the whole bunch of crap.
Helen Andrews goes on. The same trajectory can be seen in many professions. A pioneering generation of women in the 60s and 70s, increasing female representation through the 80s and 90s, and gender parity finally arriving, at least in the younger cohorts, in the 2010s or 2020s. In 1974, only 10% of New York Times reporters were female. The New York Times staff became majority female in 2018. And today, the female share is 55%. Medical schools became majority female in 2019. Women became a majority of the college-educated workforce nationwide in 2019. Women became a majority of college instructors in 2023. Women are not yet a majority of the managers in America, but they might be soon, as they are now 46%. So the timing fits. Wokeness arose around the same time that many important institutions tipped demographically from majority male to majority female. The substance fits too. Everything you think of as wokeness involves prioritizing the feminine over the masculine, empathy over rationality, safety over risk, cohesion over competition. Other writers who have proposed their own versions of the great feminization thesis, who looked at feminization's effects on academia, offer survey data showing sex differences in political values. One survey, for example, found that 71% of men said protecting free speech was more important than preserving a cohesive society. And 59% of women said the opposite, that no, a cohesive society should be protected over protecting free speech. The most relevant differences are not about individuals, but groups. Helen Andrews goes on saying, in my experience, individuals are unique, and you come across outliers who defy stereotypes every day. But groups of men and women display consistent differences, which makes sense if you think about it statistically. A random woman might be taller than a random man, but a group of 10 random women is very unlikely to have an average height greater than that of a group of 10 men. The larger the group of people, the more likely it is to conform to statistical averages. Female group dynamics favor consensus and cooperation. Men order each other around, but women can only suggest and persuade. Any criticism or negative sentiment, if it absolutely must be expressed, needs to be buried in layers of compliments. The outcome of a discussion is less important than the fact that a discussion was held and everyone participated in it. The most important sex difference in group dynamics is attitude to conflict. In short, men wage conflict openly, while women covertly undermine or ostracize their enemies. Barry Weiss, in her letter of resignation from the New York Times, described how her colleagues referred to her in internal Slack messages as a racist, a Nazi, and a bigot. This is the most feminine part. Quote, colleagues perceived to be friendly with me were badgered by coworkers. Weiss once asked a colleague at the Times opinion desk to get coffee with her. This journalist, a biracial woman who wrote frequently about race, refused to meet. This was a failure to meet the standards of basic professionalism, obviously. It was also very feminine, again, writes a woman named Helen Andrews. Men tend to be better at compartmentalizing than women, and wokeness was in many ways a society-wide failure to compartmentalize. Traditionally, an individual doctor might have opinions on the political issues of the day, but he would regard it as his professional duty to keep those opinions out of the examination room. Now that medicine has become more feminized, doctors wear pins and lanyards expressing views on controversial issues from gay rights to Gaza. They even bring the credibility of their profession to bear on political fads, as when doctors said Black Lives Matter protests could continue in violation of COVID lockdowns because racism was a public health emergency. One book that helped me put the pieces together was Warriors and Worriers, The Survival of the Sexes, by psychology professor Joyce Benenson. She theorizes that men developed group dynamics optimized for war, while women developed group dynamics optimized for protecting their offspring. These habits, formed in the midst of prehistory, explain why experimenters in modern psychology lab and a study that this author cites observed that a group of men given a task will, quote, jockey for talking time, disagree loudly, and then cheerfully relay a solution to the experimenter. A group of women given the same task will politely inquire about one another's personal backgrounds and relationships, accompanied by much eye contact, smiling, and turn-taking, and pay little attention to the task the experimenter presented.
That's all right.
But so far, seriously, I got a lady in front of me. So far all these studies, is a lot of this off or anything? You go, no way.
No, pretty accurate.
Okay. The point of war is to settle disputes between two tribes, but it works only if peace is restored after the dispute is settled. By the way, before I say this, I think the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, how long it's been going on, they've been trying a very feminine approach to solve that problem.
Absolutely.
Whereas I think it's a little like everybody get together and we'll all talk this. No,
that doesn't work. Foreign policy doesn't work good like that.
So men, therefore, develop methods for reconciling with opponents and learning to live in peace with people they were fighting yesterday. Females, even in primate species, are slower to reconcile than males. That is because women's conflicts were traditionally within the tribe over scarce resources to be resolved not by open conflict, but by covert competition with rivals with no clear terminus. All of these observations match my observations of wokeness, but soon the happy thrill of discovering a new theory eventually gave way to a sinking feeling. If wokeness really is the result of the great feminization, then the eruption of insanity in 2020 was just a small taste of what the future holds. Imagine what will happen as the remaining men age out of these society-shaping professions and the younger, more feminized generations take full control. The threat posed by wokeness can be large or small depending on the industry. It's sad that English departments are all feminized now, but most people's daily lives are unaffected by it. Other fields matter more. You might not be a journalist, but you live in a country where what gets written in the New York Times determines what is publicly accepted as truth. If the Times becomes a place where in-group consensus can suppress the unpopular facts, more so than it already does, that affects every citizen. The field that frightens me the most is the law. All of us depend on a functioning legal system, and to be blunt, the rule of law will not survive the legal profession becoming majority female. Again, this is a woman writing this, I want to be clear. The rule of law is not just about writing rules down. It means following them even when they yield an outcome that tug at your heartstrings or runs contrary to your gut sense of which party is more sympathetic. A feminized legal system might resemble the Title IX courts for sexual assault on college campuses established in 2011 under President Obama. Y'all remember those?
Mm-hmm.
These proceedings were governed by written rules and so technically could be said to operate under the rule of law, but they lacked many of the safeguards that our legal system holds sacred, such as the right to confront your accuser, the right to know what crime you're accused of, and the fundamental concept that guilt should depend on objective circumstances knowable by both parties, not in how one party feels about an act in retrospect. These protections were abolished because the people who made these rules sympathized with the accusers, who were mostly women, and not with the accused, who were mostly men. These two approaches to the law clash vividly in the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings. Oh, I remember that. That was a classic Lindsey Graham moment. Where, I'm so mad how y'all treating Brett. I've been nice to y'all's nominees. I've been nice time and I voted for him and all that stuff, and y'all just so fucking mad. I'm peeing myself a little bit. I'm so mad. That was a great moment for Lindsay, I have to say. He
has many.
I love it. He really does live
really
up to that
got a little
Richard III soliloquy. He adds colors to the chameleon.
He certainly does.
I'm Lindsey Graham. Anyway, yes, the Brett Kavanaugh hearings were definitely an example. The masculine position was that if Christine Blasey Ford can't provide any concrete evidence that she and Kavanaugh were in the same room together, her accusations of rape cannot be allowed to ruin his life. The feminine position was that her self-evident emotional response was itself a kind of credibility that the Senate committee must respect. If the legal profession becomes majority female, I expect to see the ethos of Title IX tribunals and the Kavanaugh hearings spread. Judges will bend the rules for favored groups and enforce them rigorously on disfavored groups, as already occurs to a worrying extent. It was possible to believe back in 1970 that introducing women into the legal profession in large numbers would only have a minor effect. That belief is no longer sustainable. The changes will be massive. Oddly enough, both sides of the political spectrum agree on what those changes will be. The only disagreement is over whether they will be good or bad, a good thing or a bad thing. Delilah Lithwick opens her book, Lady Justice, Women, the Law, and the Battle to Save America, with a scene from the Supreme Court in 2016 during oral arguments over a Texas abortion law. The three female justices, Ginsburg, Sotomayor, and Kagan, quote, ignored the formal time limits, talking exuberantly over their male colleagues. Lithwick celebrated this as, quote, an explosion of bottled up judicial girl power that afforded America a glimpse of what genuine gender parity or near parity might have meant for future women in powerful American legal institutions. Lithwick lauds women for their irreverent attitude to the law's formalities, which, after all, originated in an era of oppression and white supremacy. The American legal system was fundamentally a machine built to privilege propertied white men, Lithwick writes. But it's the only thing going, and you work with what you have. Those who view the law as a patriarchal relic can be expected to treat it instrumentally. If that ethos comes to prevail through our legal system, then the trappings will look the same, but a revolution will have occurred. So far, anything y'all want to quibble with? Anything y'all want to argue with?
I can't say it on the radio.
What?
But some of those ladies be crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Likewise.
Yeah,
you same agree. So we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
She's driving a good argument.
Well, she is, and it shows the fallacy of the academic system, the legal system, the medical system. Now it's been infiltrated, and men have been neutered in conjunction with it, which makes it even more potent. So
she, I think, finishes up with this. The great feminization is truly unprecedented. Other civilizations have given women the vote, granted them property rights, or let them inherit the thrones of empires. No civilization in human history has ever experimented with letting women control so many vital institutions of our society, from political parties to universities to our largest businesses. Even where women do not hold the top spots, women set the tone in these organizations, such that a male CEO must operate within the limits set by his human resources VP. We assume that these institutions will continue to function under these completely novel circumstances. But what are our grounds for that assumption? The problem is not that women are less talented than men, or even that female modes of interaction are inferior in any objective sense. The problem is that female modes of interaction are not well suited to accomplishing the goals of many major institutions. You can have an academia that is majority female, but it will be, as majority female departments in today's universities already are, oriented towards other goals that open debate and the unfettered pursuit of truth. And if your academia doesn't pursue truth, what good is it? If your journalists aren't prickly individualists who don't mind alienating people, what good are they? If a business loses its swashbuckling spirit and becomes a feminized, inward-focused bureaucracy, will it not stagnate? If the great feminization poses a threat to civilization, the question becomes whether there is anything we can do about it. The answer depends on why you think it occurred in the first place. There are many people who think the great feminization was a naturally occurring phenomenon. Women were finally given a chance to compete with men, and it turned out they were just better. That is why there are so many women in our newsrooms, running our political parties and managing our corporations. Ross Dohat, or the guy at the New York Times, described this line of thinking in an interview this year with Jonathan Kieperman, a right-wing publisher who helped popularize the term the longhouse as a metaphor for feminization, saying men are complaining that women are oppressing them. Isn't the longhouse just a long male whine about a failure to adequately compete? Duhat asked. Maybe you should suck it up and actually compete on the ground that we have in 21st century America. That is what feminists think happened, but they are wrong, writes Helen Andrews. Feminization is not an organic result of women outcompeting men. It is an artificial result of social engineering, and if we take our thumb off the scale, it will collapse within a generation. The most obvious thumb on the scale is anti-discrimination law. It is illegal to employ too few women at your company. If women are underrepresented, especially in your higher management, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. As a result, employers give women jobs and promotions they would not otherwise have gotten simply in order to keep their numbers up. It is rational for them to do this, because the consequences for failing to do so can be dire. Texaco, Goldman Sachs, Novartis, and Coca-Cola are among the companies that have paid 9-figure settlements in response to lawsuits alleging bias against women in hiring or promotions. No manager wants to be the person who lost his company $200 million in a gender discrimination lawsuit. Anti-discrimination law requires that every workplace be feminized. A landmark case in 1991 found that pinup posters on the walls of a shipyard constituted a hostile environment for women, and that principle has grown to encompass many forms of masculine conduct. Dozens of Silicon Valley companies have been hit with lawsuits alleging frat boy culture or toxic bro culture. And a law firm specializing in these suits brags of settlements ranging from $450,000 to $8 million. Women can sue their bosses for running a workplace that feels like a fraternity house, but men can't sue when their workplace feels like a Montessori kindergarten. That's the key line in this. Great line. Let me repeat it. Women can sue their bosses for running a workplace that feels like a fraternity house, but men can't sue when their workplace feels like a Montessori kindergarten. Naturally, employers err on the side of making the office softer. So if women are thriving more in the modern workplace, is that really because they are outcompeting men? Or is it because the rules have been changed to favor them? A lot can be inferred from the way that feminization tends to increase over time. Once institutions reach a 50-50 split, they tend to blow past gender parity and become more and more female. Since 2016, law schools have gotten a little bit more female every year. In 2024, they were 56% female. Psychology, once a predominantly male field, is now overwhelmingly female, with 75% of psychology doctorates going to women. Institutions seem to have a tipping point, after which they become more and more feminized. That does not look like women outperforming men. It looks like women driving men away by imposing feminine norms on previously male institutions. What man wants to work in a field where his traits are not welcome? What self-respecting male graduate student would pursue a career in academia when his peers will ostracize him for stating his disagreements too bluntly or espousing a controversial opinion? In September, writes Helen Andrews, I gave a speech at the National Conservatism Conference along the lines of this essay. I was apprehensive about putting forward the great feminization thesis in such a public forum. It is still controversial, even in conservative circles, to say that there are too many women in a given field, or that women in large numbers can transform institutions beyond recognition in ways that make them cease to function well. I made sure to express my argument in the most neutral way possible. To my surprise, the response was overwhelming. Within a few weeks, that video had gotten over 100,000 views on YouTube and become one of the most viewed speeches in the history of that conference. It is good that people are receptive to the argument, because our window to do something about the great feminization is closing. There are leading indicators and lagging indicators of feminization, and we are currently at the in-between stage. When law schools are majority female, the federal bench is still male. In a few decades, the gender shift will have reached its natural conclusion. Many people think wokeness is over, slain by the vibe shift. But if wokeness is the result of demographic feminization, then it will never be over as long as the demographics remain unchanged. As a woman myself, writes Helen Andrews, I am grateful for the opportunities I have had to pursue a career in writing and editing. Thankfully, I don't think solving the feminization problem requires us to shut any doors in women's faces. We simply have to restore fair rules. Right now, we have a nominally meritocratic system in which it is illegal for women to lose. Let's make hiring meritocratic in substance and not just name, and we will see how it shakes out. Make it legal to have a masculine office culture again. Remove the HR lady's veto power. I think people will be surprised to discover how much of our current feminization is attributable to institutional changes like the advent of HR, which were brought about by legal changes and which legal changes can reverse. Because, after all, I am not just a woman, writes Helen Andrews. I am also someone with a lot of disagreeable opinions who will find it hard to flourish if society becomes more conflict averse and consensus driven. I'm the mother of sons who will never reach their full potential if they have to grow up in a feminized world. We all are, dependent on our institutions like the legal system, scientific research, and democratic politics that support the American way of life. And we will all suffer if they cease to perform the tasks they were designed to do. Again, that's Helen Andrews. If you want to share that, read that yourself. It's called just The Great Feminization. Helen Andrews at Compact Magazine. And I wanted to read that straight because I didn't know a lot of that. Like the shift in the last, say, 5-10 years. Yeah. I did not know it had reached that tipping point. And of course, yesterday, and this has been a running thing, Senator Fetterman was asked, how can the Democrats get back white men? And so reading this today, I'm like, oh no, y'all's party reached a tipping point, and guys got the message pretty
Yeah,
quick.
the memo. Yep.
No, and like I'm this way. I was very much like a mama's boy, and like, yeah, cool. You know, everybody live free and empower women and great and all this stuff. And as I've gotten older and I watch the world, I'm like, oh, there's something wrong here. And I definitely in certain circles do not feel welcome, or I can be there.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to shut up.
Well, I think it's part and parcel of the socialist Marxist kind of model that you want to destroy you want to destroy culture and civilization from within. What do? You go demasculinize the men, you empower the women, and now you've got a society kind of turned up like in the military. You know, I'm telling you now, I was in the infantry. There's no women in the infantry. There's a reason why. Okay. Not just because they can't do the job, arguably, but the conflict that would be created inside the unit in the battlefield would be unmanageable.
Right. Yeah. And just eye-opening piece there. And I didn't realize the law schools in particular had gotten that way. I kind of realized that with medicine and psychology. But I do also worry there is, instead of prayer and like thoughtful, even just meditation, we're now therapizing the crap out of everything.
It becomes so secular.
I was reading the other day that this was part of, you remember when during the Obama administration, and I think this is another feminization thing. In the Obama administration, they said, you're punishing too many minority kids, black and brown kids. Yeah. And we got to come up with alternative ways of punishment. And you can't just be ruining these kids, lives early on in the academic setting. So they started coming up with these things like it would be internal. You can't go tell your parents about it. So somebody beats up somebody in the hallway. You bring in both those people, you bring them into like a circle of trust where you have to hold like the conch, like it's Lord of the Flies, and say, well, why did you beat him up? And talk it out, which, number one, again, you can't go talk to the parents. It's a circle of trust. And you've got somebody who just beat the crap out of me that I'm supposed to apologize to? Yeah. How demoralizing is that?
It's ludicrous.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you see this stuff like pop up in all sorts of ways where you don't have to be Helen Andrews or some researcher on this to go, it just defies common sense in so many ways. And I would suggest, especially more men and women, start speaking up when you feel that way. Like, don't give in to this. Yeah, this kind of, some of those descriptions were great. We all hear each other and we smile and we know where we came from in our backstories. And, oh, by the way, why are we even here? We forgot. Sorry. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Got to hit this break first, though. But this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark, that great team are ready to help you with your roof. It should be wise, especially owning a place to get that roof inspected on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Yes. Because if you don't, if you have my kind of luck, you'll find out you got a leaky roof when the rain start and the hurricane comes.
That's
it's going to rain for 3 or 4 days.
Or maybe you don't even realize it and stuff starting to rot.
Yeah.
Like the attic starting to
Well,
rot.
you look at your ceiling and you see these stains that you don't remember painting up there.
Ooh, or it's starting to like the popcorn ceiling starting to sag.
Have you ever seen one? And if you ever do, don't pop it. It looks like a giant pimple.
Oh, don't do
off
that.
the ceiling.
But I
full
want
of
to
water.
pop it.
Yeah.
But I
Do
want
not pop that one.
All right. Every time I see one, I'm getting it. But here's the deal. Call up the pros. They're at River Region Contracting. Whether it's an asphalt or metal roof, should be inspected on a regular basis to prevent problems. And the great news is their inspections are always free. And if they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate for free. And if you're worried about, I've been paying this insurance, homeowners insurance for the longest time, and
Take advantage of it.
They can walk you through the insurance claims process. They're insurance specialists there. So y'all check out River Region Contracting today. You can always call them at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, Eddie, Hannah, and Troy, the whole gang on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Let's face it, what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. Here at Adams Drugs, we love our customers. We're here with Al and Amy Steinecker, Adams Drug's customers. Amy, please tell us how easy it was to transfer your prescriptions to Adams Drugs from the big box store.
It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I went into the pharmacy on Bond Road and spoke with the pharmacist and told him we had not been happy where we'd been and would love to transfer our prescriptions. And he said, I'll be happy to call them. And that was that. And now when I call, I just say I need to have a prescription filled, and it's just that simple.
Al, what has your customer service been like at Adams Drugs?
It's amazing. You walk in, you're not standing in a line. They speak to you, call you by name, and say, what do you need today, Al or Mr. Steinecker? It's wonderful. It doesn't get any better.
Please come into any Adams Drugs location and let us earn your business. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For more than 50 years, the Tears family's been keeping the river region flowing with Roto-Rooter. From drain cleaning to septic repair and installation, no job's too big or too messy with a local team you can trust. So when water won't go where it's supposed to, call the hometown experts who've been serving Montgomery for over half a century. That's 272-7130. Or visit rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Pumpkin spice latte season. More like Prattville Carpet Fall sale season, when you can buy a square foot of tile, luxury vinyl plank, or carpet for way less than a coffee that tastes like a candle. I'm talking $1.39 a square foot. That's way cheaper than the big box stores. And Prattville will throw in friendly, helpful customer service for free. That's the big difference.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Shop the fall sale now at prattvillecarpet.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
New CBS Tonight.
Please get out of the way!
Detective Danny Reagan from Blue Bloods in a new city.
Trouble follows you, huh?
Only in Boston. With a new partner.
Danny, you have a reputation.
Yeah, for getting things done. Johnny Wahlberg. Sometimes dotting I's and crossing T's has to come second to right and wrong. Sonequa Martin Green.
It would be a problem if he wasn't right so often.
The new CBS original Boston Blue.
Ready to run it back, Brooklyn?
Try and stop me, Beantown.
Boston Blue tonight at 9 p.m. on WAKA.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are into another very warm, late October day. Still dry with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature today in the upper 80s again. Tonight, not quite as cool as it has been. Overnight low temperature down to the low 60s with mostly clear skies. Another day in the upper 80s and storm-free tomorrow, Saturday. In fact, I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have football plans or whatever you're doing on Saturday evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. That's ahead of a cold front, by the way. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Playing Eddie's favorite song.
Okay, just for the record, I had someone agree with me yesterday that it was very Celine Dion-ish-like.
The melody is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they were too waiting for Celine to open up her, what some people could be a beautiful voice and sing.
I hit the notes for you yesterday.
You hit the notes?
Yes, she
I
did
hit 'em.
actually.
Wow.
I went as high as I could just
Yeah.
belt them out for you.
All right, I'll have to hear that someday. Let's go to Debbie. Hey, Debbie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. And this is a topic I have thought about more than one time in my life, I promise you.
Okay.
I'm going to try to make it quick. I was a single mom, no child support, no family nearby, on my own. I had no college at all. I had some, I was a nursing assistant. I mean, I went through a certification for that. But outside of that, I had little to nothing to help me financially. And I moved from one state to another. I mean, it was a tough go. All right.
Yep.
Job that was passed over me. Why? Because I was pregnant. Woo-woo. Okay. That's not good, is it? Then I had, and I was the one qualified for that job, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Even the person that was chosen told me she couldn't understand why they did that. I understood completely why they did it.
Yeah.
All right. Then I had another job where I had, well, actually two, where I had to deal with handsy bosses.
Ugh.
Of course, that didn't happen, but one time I put them in their place and made
Good.
sure that they didn't ever do it again. And I walked out. And, you know, I didn't fight for those jobs. I didn't sue. I didn't even report them. Why? It wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah.
They were scum. Okay. That was clear. And I just left. And I moved on. So I started working for myself because that was the best way for me to get a fair shake. I had my own way of handling things, and I was good at it. So bottom line is I get discrimination. But that being said, I will tell you right now, women were made different. Please listen, men and women. Women were made different for a reason. Without us, there would be no world today with people on it. Without us, there would be no humankind. We are extremely important in this world. We should never think less of ourselves. It was different people through the ages, and I hate to say it, and I'm not going to, that makes us subservient. We're not as bad as some other countries where, you know, they actually behead you if you don't do exactly what they say. But it's still a way of keeping us in our place. And that's something that's societal, and that's something that's sad. There are cultures that do think women are special and treat them so. A woman should have a chance to raise her children in home. And if she has the opportunity to work elsewhere, she should be supported in that. But it's not being done that well. Let's face it. How many government organizations help women raise their children? And then, you know, I don't want my children being raised by somebody else anyway, but they should be supporting us in other ways. Now, as a single mom, I just met other women with children around my same age, and we swapped out because we couldn't afford to pay for a babysitter. So when one of us wanted to go shopping or a date, we'd swap out. I do this for you, you do that for me. It worked great, but, you know, that's networking. And we don't even do that anymore. Used to, that was a thing. My mama used to do it all the time. That's how I knew to do it. So I think it's just a matter of teaching the thought process of how special women really are, and as so respect them and help them. Just because we don't have the muscles a man's got, we got brains, and we do understand things in a different way, and we can see how to do things differently than a man. We should be working together and not against each other, and we should be paid accordingly.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I had a cousin in the Marines, and his boot camp was dumbed down so that a woman could pass it. Now, when he went to try to go into the big dogs, he got the real boot camp then. But to get in, it was not that way. Now, my grandson is in the Marines, and he's catching the devil. Why? They're bumping it up again.
Yep.
And now these young men that aren't really in good shape. Now, my grandson was in good shape, but he's got bad ankles, and he's having to wear supportive insoles. But that's another story.
Yes.
And these men that are not in good shape, or young men that want to get in, you better start working out, because used to, when I was a kid, we were outside 24/7 running, and we were having a blast doing it. Now it's in front of the boob tube or on that telephone, and it's not the same, and the body shows it. But I'm just venting, and I hope I didn't bore you to death. But those were my little bits of wisdom.
Well,
I think it's just not an easy answer, but
I
this
appreciate it,
idea
Debbie.
that we are equal just don't make sense.
Well, I appreciate it, Debbie.
You have a good day.
You too, Debbie.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, no, I think we're equal in the eyes of God. And I would say that people need to just embrace what I think is the fact that the best thing anybody, man or woman, will do is probably taking care of their children. And I, in fact, know many career-driven, let's say, women who got very successful who realized the best thing they did was raising their kids.
Right. Sure.
And the most meaningful thing was raising their kids. Like I have an aunt who was like a top executive at Nabisco and PepsiCo, and she realized, oh, a nanny is raising my daughters. And so she quit and raised her daughters. And she doesn't regret it for a second from having succeeded in the corporate world very quickly. And so there's a lot of, I think, people, and maybe we're past this, but I think back to those, y'all might remember a little more, where it's the a woman needs a man, like a fish needs a bicycle sort of thing. And
Hannah can tell you, there are, in our business, and it's everybody's business, that there are times when she'll talk to somebody and she'll call me. They just want to talk to a dude. They just want to talk to a
They
man.
do. They'll tell me, let me talk to the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'll
like,
tell them
okay.
the exact same thing.
He's going to call me and he's going to ask me these questions.
What do I say? Okay, I'll tell.
That's what he tells them. But they seriously.
But it does. It's. I won't even say it's like a older generation or anything like that. It's just people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's something too that you feel like sometimes when it's brought up in the room, everybody gets a little tight-lipped, or you could back up to a brick wall and suck out a brick sort of energy, like very much so. But it's obvious in our politics in particular.
Oh, big time.
Like I've noticed it for a while now. It's so obvious, and I don't know how to bridge that divide. I don't want to be a bridge. I'm good for now. Let's go to Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing?
Oh, Mr. Clark, I'm good.
What's on your mind?
Well, the 75% female psychiatrists, that number is surprisingly low to me. You know, I'll bet you can search freshman class pictures for Auburn University School of Veterinary Medicine and UAB School of Medicine, and just look at the class pictures there. I would say it's more like 85-15 or even 90-10 in some years. Vast majority female going into the medical professions. If you go to a white coat ceremony or a graduation, it's like, hey, wow, there's a guy. Now, a couple things there. Who is going to be more adventuresome? The person with natural levels of male testosterone or a person that doesn't have that?
The former.
Okay. Well, who do you think is going to be more likely to be the innovator? The adventuresome person or this is the way they said to do it person?
Definitely the adventurous person.
Yes. Now, talking to a high school basketball coach years ago that coached both boys and girls at different times. I'm like, well, what's the difference in coaching them? He said, well, you can't yell at the girls like you can the boys. And we got like 30 seconds left in the ball game, and we're down by a point or two. I call a timeout. I give the girls a play. We're going to inbound the ball. It's going to go to so-and-so, and then it's going to go to the person that takes the best shots. If the person that takes the best shot is triple covered, they are still going to try to pass it to her, and the ball will be intercepted. And if you ask them, well, she was triple covered, why did you do that? Well, that's who you said to pass it to. Now, you give boys the same play. If the guy they're going to pass the ball to is triple covered, they're going to find out something else to do.
Yeah, throw it to the guy right under the basket for all you know. Right.
Yeah, they're going to come up with a new plan on the fly. So I think we risk losing a lot of innovation by what we're seeing happen here.
Yes.
Now, if you flip.
Broke up, Clark. Can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. I can now.
Okay. More and more corporate practices. If you have a corporate practice, you have somebody that will follow paradigms. They'll go by the algorithm.
Yes.
You don't want an independent thinker that has that pesky old testosterone. They won't maximize profit.
Oh, yeah. And it gets to the other distinction might be a wartime or a peacetime consigliere for you Godfather fans
I
out
think
there.
we're in peril of losing what we had.
Yeah. Think you're right about that. Well, I appreciate it, Clark. Got to run. Thanks, sir.
See you, Clark.
Take care.
Let's go to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you, Joey?
I'm good. I have all these friends here in the studio with me today.
It looks like y'all are having a big party.
Something like that.
Something like that.
But,
Michael, you got any big TVs in the back that you could probably donate to the studio? Because we're looking like at a 28-inch TV. I can't even read the writing on the closed captioning anymore, Joey.
It's 42 inches and your glasses must be still fogged.
Yeah. I wish you had called me sooner. I just had a big donation of a bunch of TVs we just gave away.
Daggum.
Oh, I'm sure they were more deserving than us.
The bar is low there.
Merry Christmas, everyone. So what's the score there today, Cohen's?
24-0.
Another shutout. All right.
All right.
Yeah. We I saw a guy at the gym that said his system needed some help because it quit working last night. He couldn't watch TV on his 100-inch Sony television that he got from us, and called him and told him when I could have Michael Jackson out there, and he's like, "That's great," and he meets him out there and calls me with a credit card number. I mean, it's just there's so much that Michael can get done and get everybody taken care of to where the stuff is working. He can explain it in third grade level so everybody can understand, because a lot of times you hear technicians explain something to a customer and the customer is embarrassed to say that they don't understand what he's saying. So they just nod their head. But, he speaks very simply. So there's no questions and everybody gets it. And he even critiques their handwriting because sometimes they write themselves notes that even they can't read. But he's going to make sure everything gets done so that when you do go to use it, it'll be an enjoyment instead of you pulling your hair out and you cussing.
Oh no, and I've seen him in action myself. He will not leave until you're satisfied with the job well done. And I mean, he was trying to set up my apps for me. I'm like, I'm 35, I can do that, man. That's awesome that he really does go that extra mile with it. And folks, they're great products there at Cohen's, of course, electronics and the appliance side, but it's the service that puts them above, I think, all the competition. And so check them out today. You can always, shop online, peruse online at thinkcohens.com, but there's nothing like actually seeing that amazing showroom at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and say, Hey, I heard you on that Friday radio show. They're having a party.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And then the other thing, I think he likes to get everything set up so that he knows it's set up. But also, if you've ever watched him set up someone's password, he is like a gazillion miles an hour.
Dang.
As fast as you can think J-O-E, he's already over there, hit the enter button and gone to the next letter.
Right. It's get out of, is this a mind meld? Get out of my head.
Yeah. He's on it. So anyway, y'all come see us, bring us some pictures of what you're trying to upgrade, whether it's appliances or electronics. Come see us and let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael, and have a great weekend.
Hey, y'all too. Take care.
See you, bud.
Notice we didn't talk about football.
Yeah, there's no reason.
How does Auburn even play this week? I don't even know.
Mizzou.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to get a butt kick.
Yeah, Auburn's depressing this year. Seriously depressing.
We fired coaches for less.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, and it's a nice payday for Hugh Freeze. I'm sure he won't mind.
Take it in a minute, man.
Well, also, I've even heard Bammers say y'all are getting screwed by the refs.
Yeah.
So that's amazing when, like, the diehards that usually rub it in our faces when we lose.
Well,
like,
they say it, but they say it with a smile on their face.
of course they
I
do.
mean,
Yeah. Like, man, y'all getting a
right.
raw deal.
I hate it for you.
Hey, Paul, I've always hated the Auburn Tigers, but, man, they ain't getting a fair shake.
I heard one Bammer say, yeah, you're getting screwed. He goes, but I'm glad that horseshoe fell out of your ass. All the times you guys got up on him. And I laughed. I just kind of laughed. I go, well, but still, you're getting screwed. But you guys have been lucky against them on many occasions.
There's something that, now, something up your alley we might have to go to is, what's this guy's name? Palmer Luckey?
Oh, yeah.
And he is such a, like, millennial thing. Like, he's got funky facial hair, long hair, kind of shaggy.
He looks like
he wears like Hawaiian shirts and like vacation shirts, and he's the head of a defense contractor company.
he made the Iron
It's
Man
incredibly
mask.
innovative. Yeah. So we'll get into that mask. They call it what? Eagle Eye.
Yeah, I saw him on something a while back.
He was just on Rogan, and they showed Rogan, put it on Rogan's head, the technology.
Yeah.
And like gave Rogan, like, I think it was a legit M16 or something like that. And just Europe will never understand.
I think I saw him on Sean Ryan before too. I remember seeing him just probably about a year ago, and I thought, man, who is this young nerd? But he's just as cool as the day is long.
Well, and it's some really amazing technology that's come out.
The integration, the idea of scalability and technology integration into the warfighter from the infantry level to the aviation level. They've got things. They've always had things like Blue Force Tracker. It's neat to see because a lot of this is heads up now, and it just everything is synced together.
So we'll definitely have to touch on that and dive into more detail after the hour break. First, this entire hour has been brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. They can walk you through that process. Can educate you as you go through it. And, you get that peace of mind knowing you got true pros walking you through it. And it starts with pre-approval. Don't skip that step or you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. Pre-approval, and they'll walk with you all the way to closing day. And if you are looking to refinance, especially with interest rates coming down, now's the time to at least start the conversation. And it could be whatever your goals, it could be just bought a place and at a higher rate, you just want to refinance. Just to refinance. Could be you want to get credit card debt off your back, restructure all sorts of debt, or reinvest in your property or your family.
Well, rates are coming down. There's 2 weeks in a row that rates have been dropping, so trending the right way.
So y'all at least start the conversation today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump is hosting Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky for talks once again today at the White House. The two met to talk about the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the president set to meet with Vladimir Putin in Hungary in about 2 weeks' time, also to try to convince him to drop his war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the U.S. is also considering increasing its military shipments to Ukraine as further incentive. The U.S. has seized survivors after a strike on a suspected drug-carrying vessel in the Caribbean. the first since President Trump began launching attacks in the region this summer. That's according to a defense official and another person familiar with the matter. It is a new trend, and also the president says he's considering doing more on the ground in that country to stop the flow of drugs into the U.S. On Wall Street right now, the Dow at 303 points. This is SRN News.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are into another very warm late October day. Still dry with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature today in the upper 80s again. Tonight, not quite as cool as it has been. Overnight low temperature down to the low 60s with mostly clear skies. Another day in the upper 80s and storm-free tomorrow, Saturday. In fact, I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have football plans or whatever you're doing on Saturday evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. That's ahead of a cold front, by the way. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Ready to borrow smarter this season? Apply online in minutes at yourasecu.com. Call 334-270-9011 or visit your local branch today.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News.
The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has issued a ruling on a case that is coming out of Jefferson County, Alabama. The appeals court negated a lower court's decision that was to have Jefferson County redraw its district lines for the 5 commissioners who serve on the county commission. District Judge Madeline Heikela is the one who made that original order in response to a lawsuit that was filed against the Jefferson County Commission. The plaintiffs in this lawsuit claim that the commission redistricting map, which was created in 2021, is racially gerrymandered. The 11th Circuit Court ruled that the new districts do not need to be redrawn by the 2026 election cycle as the whole case moves through the appeal process and the judicial system. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
The Crime Stopper organization out of Huntsville is asking for the public's help in identifying and locating the persons responsible for vandalism at the Movement Church in Madison. The vandalism occurred on October 8th, just a day before a speaking engagement at that church involved 1819 News CEO Brian Dawson. The vandalism included the name of Brian Dawson. Madison County Sheriff Kevin Turner called it an act of intimidation and said it will not be tolerated in that community. Anyone with information can provide it anonymously at 53crime.org. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodward, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Did you know that more Americans listen to radio than use Facebook each week? Did you know that 77% of listeners would try a brand or product endorsed by their favorite radio personality? Contact me, Cheryl Woodward, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Holy cow, Benji. Gold has gone up to $4,000 an ounce. How can our audience cash in at Marguerite's?
At Marguerite's, we do more than sell jewelry. We also buy jewelry. If you have old jewelry, broken jewelry, jewelry that you don't know what it is, bring it to us and we'll pay you for it. So don't let your old jewelry collect dust. Let Marguerite's pay you for it. Take advantage of gold being at an all-time high. Come see us at Marguerite's and let us give you some money.
Tell them where they can find you, Benji.
We're at 8163 Vaughn Road at the Pepper Tree Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week.
This is Ashley, the owner of Pest Pro Services. You spoke and we listen. We're excited to launch Wildlife and Exclusion Pro, a new division of Pest Pro Services. Got squirrels in the attic, raccoons in the crawl space. We've got you covered. Our team will safely remove the animals and seal up the entry points, protecting your home and family. Call today, 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Call today, 265-9990, or visit us on the web at ppsriverregion.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark.
I have a request.
What's your request, Eddie?
So last night, somebody sent me some piano solos.
Yeah.
And not today, but I would love to hear that over your broadcast one day.
Just random piano music?
No, it's like the one I heard was Lionel Richie. That was, everybody knows that one.
Oh, I only sent that to Eddie.
Okay.
That was a request from him.
It was, because I've always dreamed of playing the piano, but my mom realized I had no talent and wouldn't ever pay for lessons.
What did she used to tell you? You're easy like Sunday morning?
No, she let me. Lionel Richie was one of my favorites because Commodore's first concert I ever saw, 1979, at the Garrett Coliseum. And Lionel Richie, because I traveled so much, I could always, people say Alabama. I'm like, yeah, you know Lionel Richie? Oh, yeah.
True talent.
So I'm on a flight from Fort Benning, so Columbus, Georgia, back in 1990. I left basic training in AIT, and I get on an airplane back to Dayton, Ohio, and the Commodores are on the plane.
Oh, nice.
And they bought me as much beer as I wanted to drink, and I thought, I really like these people. They were very, very patriotic. They thank you for serving and all that. I mean, this was back before 9/11. I thought myself, those good people.
Yeah, they used to do the I can't think of the name of the service, but they used to do the tours. They came to Turkey one time, but we weren't there when they came. But
yeah, they're good people.
Good times.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do the piano stuff, but it'd be more like recorded and make a full song out of it.
Well, you're the other day you were looking for somebody and
Or
musical talent.
Or we could get together and we could just go ahead and we could mesh one together. I'll do the
A
piano
song?
and you could do
nice.
guitar.
Okay.
Islands in the Stream.
Let me tell you.
It's gotta be original.
No,
I have found Eddie Bader's talent.
Yeah.
We figured it out yesterday.
What?
The banana shaker.
The banana shaker.
I don't know what you're talking
What is the banana shaker? You know about this, Charlie?
Banana shaker.
It's a musical instrument, believe it or not,
It's-
Joey.
Do you know the little like shakers?
I'm bereft of the knowledge of this thing they
So if
speak
I
of.
search for this,
Yeah, you will.
I mean,
Well, I don't know.
Do
if
a
you
safe
go to the Arts
search.
Music Shop and look it up, then I can guarantee you get the right one. But yeah,
Banana
you have those special people in the band that are pretty, but they don't have any talent, but you got to give them something to play. Well, I can play the banana.
Okay.
That's
what it looks like. Yes,
That
that's
is
it.
what it looked like, yeah.
That's exactly
This right here?
It's
Yeah.
just got little beads in it, like a little. Well, it was
so it's
yellow.
like a banana
Yeah.
shaker maraca.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his talent. It's a
Better
hidden
than the
talent.
triangle.
So you can keep time with it.
Oh yeah. Especially
All
you give me two.
Because because if you show up to band practice and you're behind the beat, I'm going to throw a chair like it's Whiplash.
I would
all right?
expect that. I would expect nothing less.
Have
By the
extra
way,
chairs, okay?
Yeah.
Great movie about obsession. Really good movie.
Strange, but yeah, it was a good.
Yeah, well, and I've also seen like professional drummers watch that movie and go, "That's really stupid." like his hands bleeding from playing, and he's like, "That's really dumb." Like that's not how you practice these things. But great movie. Don't get me wrong.
Great movie, yeah.
Yeah. So this Palmer Luckey guy, I like this guy. Have you ever heard of this guy, Heather?
Heather hasn't, but Hannah has.
Okay, Hannah has.
Yeah.
So Palmer Luckey is. Well, let's start off with just this short clip from the Joe Rogan Experience. I think this dropped yesterday, where they're both rocking the eagle eye headgear.
Yeah, I saw that.
As they're doing the interview, which Rogan is over the moon wearing this stuff. He's like, "This is so much fun. It's so cool." And let's listen in though. This is a great description for sometimes you feel like you're born too late or born too early. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy that I was born at the right time to actually get to build all of this stuff. Because you know Robert Heinlein, the science fiction author who did Starship Troopers?
Right. Okay.
He was literally writing about these ideas of mobile infantry that's wearing mech suits and ballistics prediction.
And by the way, also I think like handheld nukes, like tactical nukes and stuff, like pretty crazy.
Like helmets that show you the bad guys, give you radar feeds, give you night vision, give you thermal vision, the ability to do ballistics targeting, where it calculates where the wind is going to blow you around and where it's going to go. He was literally writing about this in the 1940s. I mean, we're talking about almost 100 years ago. Wow. And we happen to be born in the right time. So, too late to explore the seas, too early to explore the stars, but just in time to build Eagle Eye.
So what is Eagle Eye?
So the Army and the Marines have been working for well over a decade with DARPA to create integrated, scalable combat suits. A lot of them were focused on individual and small unit movement, where all your heads up, you know where your friendlies are at based on trackers, and
Looks like a video
what's
game.
out there. Exactly. A lot of it has, weather predictives, like he was talking about for a shot. Maybe you've got coefficient and ballistic coefficient that you got to account for the wind. More importantly, it can also integrate with overhead drones and provide support, indirect fire support. One of the ones I liked was it showed your hydration levels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and like
Get down to the
ambient
individual
temperature.
soldier.
It just had
It really is like a video game, man.
It really is.
It's pretty crazy.
And this was all prototype stuff. I didn't actually use it in the field, but we use something called Blue Force Tracker, which is on a bigger scale for armored vehicles and mobile vehicles. We can tell who's where, but this has all come full circle. And with AI and with all the things going on, it's now very much a reality and something that's happening.
I'm sure this is a little dramatized, but here's like an example of like what is Eagle Eye and what is it? Aduro Technologies, I think.
Aduro Technologies, yeah.
And so this is their presentation of what they were just talking about, the Eagle Eye.
This is their premise.
And so for those of you just listening, we're watching, it's like you're first person in a small unit, like.
Yeah, you're on patrol.
One Tango West container in the open.
Wow. And so like you've got the radar right there. You've got like being able to see through the dark and actually through buildings.
And one of the things, if you take this shot right here to extrapolate some more on it, the systems I saw has up here, it's got another block out where it shows where friendlies blue or red are at, blue being friendly, red being enemy. And then it would have like, a temperature, humidity, all these things gauging you as you're moving around. And then it also had a blood pressure. It was just really cool suits. So
Maybe you've seen some of the ones that are almost the robot suits, where it's giving them extra leg power, running.
Yeah,
room,
sure.
the whole
They have
yards.
that external mecha stuff.
If you watch this, though, what's so cool about this, and it reminds me kind of Tesla's technology, even when your friendlies or your enemies are concealed, it's still tracking with them.
Yeah.
So when they go into that container, watch how it will create stick figures to show where they're at within the container system. And then you can see the other guy already behind the container.
But it's so video game like.
Eagle Eye is what they call it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that's what Palmer Luckey's sitting there wearing with Rogan.
And it uses full spectrum. What you saw there was not just night vision. It's called hyperspectral or multispectral imagery, which shows a lot more than just
It shows more details.
It shows details, and it also shows energy emissions and things like that.
Okay.
And so this almost creates super soldiers, like especially compared to the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like you can see where others literally can't see. You just have information. Like you could probably pull off shots and attacks that people think are impossible.
Yeah, and what's neat about this is one of the things that's there's several things that separates America from its near peers. Adversaries. One is metallurgy. Okay, our metallurgy and our composites are way ahead of most of our competition. The other is electro-optical sensors, which is what's happened is there was this field of intelligence called measurements and signatures intelligence, which uses satellite platforms and or other persistent overhead platforms to use what we call multispectral imagery. I mean, if I tell you that they could look at your vehicle, Hannah, and look at it and watch it running and tell what's the condition of the engine, what is it burning fuel too much, is it whatever it's doing. Then the other thing is disturbances on the ground. Anything where there's footprints can be seen and they can move where it's at. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And then the big question: how do we know when someone's doing something nuclear? Well, there's an emission that comes out of that nuke, and that's what the multispectral hyperspectral measurement does. And so what they've done is they've canned it now into an end user kind of application, which is really cool.
Pretty amazing. And I think also these satellite constellations are really making this stuff more powerful to where you don't necessarily need even a drone in the sky. You've already got your satellite connect.
But with that also comes a whole new set of challenges for counter technologies to destroy them and protect them.
And then you get into the question, if the counterstrike or measures are used, are your guys too reliant and too trained up on the technology? Can they operate without the technology?
So there's an argument in the infantry about what we call perishable skills and land navigation using a compass with a map. Not a plugger, not a navigation aid. I'm talking about doing the declination, inclination, and going. Imagine if you're a pilot, if you're like in a B-52, they still use sextants sometimes to true where they're at, like ships, to find by the navigation of the sky. Because if you depend on that technology solely and it's out, you've got to be able to still conduct your mission safely. So
and makes a lot of sense.
Sharp.
Well, and the skill is your insight, your cleverness, your ability to actually assess the situation. Adapt and overcome?
Yeah, I think adapt to overcome. And I think what this does is we call it force multipliers. If you've got a platoon of guys with that stuff on, or unit members, you become a much more lethal threat on the battlefield.
Now here's Rogan. Hopefully there's no cursing in this one. Here's Rogan talking to Palmer Luckey about the UAP showing. Where this is the one where I guess it's over water and a Hellfire missile approaches it, and the Hellfire splits in two. Which is, correct me if I'm wrong, that's crazy.
It goes counter to all the laws of physics and things that we understand as technology.
Right. And so what I'm about to play here is Palmer Luckey reacting to this as you're seeing that video of the Hellfire missile being split in two by the UAP. Let's listen in.
It's not the weirdest thing that people have seen though, like the Hellfire thing. Recently with the missile, that was some of the weirdest stuff that I've seen.
That's so weird because it got hit and it just shook it off and kept moving.
And it looks almost like there were like pieces. It's like someone reconstituted.
Right, like it took pieces of it.
So I don't know if you've done. Everyone wants to believe that it's aliens, and like that's what I want to believe.
Of course.
I don't think that it is a foreign adversary. Like I don't buy into the idea that the Chinese or the Russians have secretly figured this out. But then the question is, okay, well, what does that leave? And I feel like my gut is that it's something that is weirder than anything that anyone has made popular. Like just as an example, it's literally bleeding in from some parallel dimension. It's an energy signature and it's co-aligned by accident rather than intent, right? Like it's there because there's something in its parallel universe that is similar to what we're doing. And that's why they're co-aligned. Like, I know this sounds like weirdo mumbo jumbo, but it seems like something like that even would be more likely.
And you notice Gary Palmer, Congressman Palmer said, I don't think it's like from another planet. And actually I agree with him, but Tim Burchett has constantly said a lot of these are coming out of the ocean.
Well,
and we haven't
Yeah,
studied a lot of
they're
these.
transmedium. The problem with this technology is it's a transmedium technology. It can go between water, air, and I'm saying, we've had Lou Elizondo on the show several times, and what was his overarching thesis? These things move in ways and act in ways that are not conductive to any of our conventional understanding of military technologies. It's highly unlikely it's Chinese. It's so when you're left with the absence of checking them off, Joey, you're left with
don't know
what it's like.
Weird stuff.
It's like deduction from Sherlock Holmes. What's left over must be the reason.
So now there's a new movie, a documentary about to be dropping. It'll be in theaters and on Amazon, I believe, November 21st. It's called The Age of Disclosure. The film claims to unmask an 80-year-old global cover-up of non-human intelligence and secret wars over alien tech. It features testimony from 34 insiders, military, intelligence, and government. I wonder if Lou's on this documentary.
I bet he is. I'm certain he is. Yeah, I'm certain.
Including Jay Stratton, who says he's seen non-human craft and beings. The film aims to spark a public reckoning. Is the truth finally ready to go mainstream? And in this clip, you have all people, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So let's watch the trailer together. The age of disclosure could change.
Had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
There's a whole fleet of them. I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
This is so secret. There have been very few people in our entire government that have been allowed or provided access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees. People have been hurt protecting and hiding this information.
Some people claim it would cost them their lives if they spoke out about these things.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species. This is the biggest discovery in human history.
The age of disclosure. And you're seeing, if you're just listening, there are a lot of blurbs from every major entertainment, movie, publication, news outlet saying this is an extraordinary movie.
I just spoke to Lou yesterday, in fact, and one of the things he bemoaned was the continued fracturing of some of the people that are in government that at first were like Luna, for instance, some of the things that she's come out, and so he just said that there's still an internal struggle over the proper placement of this in the order of national security, but I think it should be at the highest level, obviously.
Absolutely. And it is strange too. It's like one of the few issues that still brings Democrats and Republicans together.
It's an existential question. It's one that begs far beyond man's technology. What are we looking at?
And at a certain point, you would hope, no matter their party, that a politician duly elected would be a little frustrated with being kept in the dark.
Well, we talked about why that is, and one of the things is that the system is set up for it's called top secret, but it's called sensitive compartmented information, which has compartments, and you only get one part of that, Joey. Then they have something called special access programs, which is even another layer of the onion that you can't get to. And I think, you looked over at me when he said that the statement was made that that this is that there's president doesn't even get to know sometimes. And so who is the gatekeeper?
Right.
Right.
It's a great question. Well, and who's making that decision of treat the Congress and the American public, even presidents like mushrooms, keep them in the dark and feed them crap. Yeah. And it does feel like that too. And also I do suspect so much of the wacky, kooky conspiracy stuff is straight from the government.
I think so. I think there's an active disinformation campaign out there, but the facts are now we're getting more and more independent verification. The thing that's most interesting about when you think of this big phenomenon, go look in other countries at the massive amounts of data that's stored on it. American Japan, And France have been very resistant to sharing information. In fact, we remember some of the biggest databases that they had on all this was in Italy, and it was compromised and destroyed by unknown forces. Yeah.
Well, definitely going to watch this one when it comes out.
It's Oliver Stone.
Or Oliver Stone blurb said it.
Okay, very cool.
I'm not sure exactly who put it together, but
it looks good.
We got to hit this break first. This part of the program should have done this earlier. Brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. Testosterone, gentlemen, you probably need testosterone,
especially after those ladies we heard of from.
Oh
today.
yeah, all this feminization, like and it's not just guys in like their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That does naturally. You get older and stuff, and a lot of men go, "Wow, I'm not going to go to the doctor. I can just tough it out."
That's what men do.
Power through.
Number one, that's a mistake.
It is a huge mistake.
Huge mistake, fellas. And if you're a guy in his 20s or 30s, and you feel like you have the symptoms of low testosterone, definitely get by Montgomery Men's Health.
It's good to go by there and just get a baseline, no matter what.
So what are the symptoms? Like you're just tired
all the time. You really just brain fog was one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
You have no interest in
your sleep patterns are shot. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Like you have no libido, no life force.
Libido.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
You're also getting fatter around the middle.
That happens.
A lot of visceral
even though
fat,
you're going to the gym.
Losing muscle mass.
Yeah.
And you're not even eating that much.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with me? But I'm a man. I don't need a doctor. Wrong. Get by Montgomery Men's Health. And especially get by Montgomery Men's Health before you go online for some generic fixes. Like, I'll take a little blue pill. That'll handle that Friday night. Right? No, come on. The generic fixes are often expensive and ineffective. So instead, get by Montgomery Men's Health. The urologists and providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. They have testosterone treatments as well as ED treatments and other options many men don't even know exist. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. You only got one life, gentlemen. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. Call them up today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Big news! Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital has a new name. But don't worry, everything you love is still the same. Now they're Pike Road Animal Hospital, still at 5148 Troy Highway. Still the same great team you've trusted for years. Same friendly faces, same expert care. Just a new name, and still offering boarding, grooming, and doggy daycare. Pike Road Animal Hospital, formerly Phillips Dunn Animal Hospital. New name, same heart. Compassion you know, care that you trust.
Fox Tuesday. It's a night of unforgettable drama. First, a new mystery unravels on murder in a small town.
Let's find him. Suspects on foot. Send all units.
Then, a new episode of TV's most addictive medical drama, Doc.
You're reviewing my cases? I will know everything that goes on in my hospital. I'm not going anywhere.
Tuesday on Fox 20.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking to a lion tamer. What up, Wild Kingdom? I see you're working with the big cats.
That's right, man. They're ferocious. Down, Garfield, are no tender victuals for you.
I'll bet you've made so much money that you've had to hire yourself a money man.
Yeah, man, and I've hired the best.
You mean the man who could quite possibly be the most beloved asset preservationist in the world?
That's right, man. David Ernest.
The money man with the money plan.
Yeah, Daddy-O, and you can call him toll-free at 833-596-7233. And those last 4 digits spell out the word safe. Yeah, man. Mr. Jinx, stop that. That's disgusting. Tell me, how did you get into this business? Well, my Uncle Claude, who was also a lion tamer, taught me everything I know. And what was your Uncle Claude's last name? Badley. Claude Badley. Yeah, excuse me. I gotta go scoop out the litter box. Make sure you get that joke while you're at it.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Summer is over, but the deals are hot at Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Just $29 service fee for all your AC and plumbing needs. Better call Clark today. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are into another very warm late October day. Still dry with mostly sunny skies and a high temperature today in the upper 80s again. Tonight, not quite as cool as it has been. Overnight low temperature down to the low 60s with mostly clear skies. Another day in the upper 80s and storm-free tomorrow, Saturday. In fact, I think we're dry through Saturday evening if you have football plans or whatever you're doing on Saturday evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. That's ahead of a cold front, by the way. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, one clip I gotta play here before we get out of here.
All right, what you got?
Sorry,
it's good stuff.
Man, I'm gonna need a whole playlist.
Oh, he's got a playlist.
Are you on Spotify?
I have one song on YouTube.
Oh, really?
On Spotify, yeah.
I figured you had more than
Joey,
that.
what's your
The intro song.
Some of his best stuff.
high
It's
school?
stuff that when I was like, oh, I really like this. He's like, yeah, I wrote that in high school.
Yeah.
What's your Spotify under?
Just Joey Clark. It's a bit easier to find on YouTube Music. Joey Clark Wears the Liberty. But this clip. So yesterday.
Yeah.
Justice Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
She made the very perilous argument by paralleling the, say, needing another minority majority district is similar to, say, somebody in a wheelchair needing access to a building.
What?
And literally at one point goes, and yeah, they're denied the vote. They're disabled. Saying that about Black Americans, and I see what she was trying to do. She was trying to make a point about disparate impact that's not about intent.
Yeah, but
or
is she not
intentionality.
smart enough to make that point, Joey?
Well, remember, our law schools are full of women right now.
So she makes this and literally says they're disabled. And it's like, whoa, well, Benny Johnson sat down. You know this guy, Wesley Hunt. He's a congressman from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to his reaction to this. It's quite entertaining to watch here.
Your take on this, Congressman?
See, this is the example of the liberal mind virus. This is an example of the soft bigotry of low expectations. And I recognize what happened in this country 150 years ago. I think you've heard me say this before. My great-great-grandfather was born on a plantation. His great-great-grandson, me, is a United States congressman in a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 20 points, and I won by 27 points. I think we are way beyond slavery. I think we are way beyond Jim Crow. And while this country has a checkered past, by the way, like every single civilized nation has a checkered past in the form of slavery and indentured servitude, at the end of the day, we have come a very long way, and I'm a prime example of that. Look, I am like the Democrats' worst nightmare. I want to be here because I don't want to be judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. And that's why I get to be a congressman in a white majority district. And quite frankly, as a Republican, nobody really cares what I look like. They care about how I'm going to vote. They care about securing the border. They care about our economy. Here in Texas, they care about the oil and gas industry. And how you look has absolutely nothing to do with it. And what I cannot stand about liberals is they think that black and brown people are too stupid to get an ID to vote. They think that black and brown people are simply going to vote Democrat because that's how we've done for the past few decades. And they don't realize that they are hemorrhaging black men because 1 in 3 black men in this last election voted for President Trump. What they have to understand is we want to be respected just like everybody else. I don't want to be handicapped. I don't want your gratis. What I want you to do is look at me and say, does this guy have grit, hard work, determination? And if so, you can be somebody in this great nation. And what I don't understand is this: if black people are handicapped so bad, and if black people can't be successful, and if white supremacy still exists, let me ask you a question. How did I get here? Why do I exist? And while the Democrats sit there and call me, oh, Wesley, you don't get it. Oh, Wesley, you're an Uncle Tom. You're this, you're that. Here's what I push back with. The people here in the great state of Texas recognize this. I'm a West Point graduate, flew 55 combat air missions in Baghdad, learned how to fly the most sophisticated helicopter that's ever existed, the A-64 Delta Apache, earned 3 master's degrees in 4 years from an Ivy League school, and I love my country. That's all they care about. And Democrats hate hearing that because that's called merit. It's the exact opposite of DEI. I don't ever want to be given anything because of the way I look. And I hate seeing a black woman who's a Supreme Court justice sit there and spew these kinds of liberal lies. And as somebody that has 2 Harvard degrees, she should literally just say, look, I'm probably a pretty smart person. I have 2 Harvard degrees.
That's a problem.
And yet she reverts back to being a victim. As a Supreme Court justice, she is still a victim. Last I checked, there are a lot of white people that are not Supreme Court justices. I say, let's get over it. Let's get in this boat together. Let's start rowing in the right direction. And let's talk about what it means to be an American.
See why I had to play that? That's
outstanding.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
That dude's a rising star at the party.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
What up, Papa B?
Boy, that guy is preaching the gospel jubilee right there.
Yes, sir.
He is on top of it, and I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyway, I just called in about this, whatever, aliens. I don't know. Dude, it might be. I don't know. I mean, angels, demons,
right,
type thing,
right,
spiritual. I mean, we're going to see clearly one day all of this. Right now, there is a spiritual warfare going on, has been for forever, and so maybe it's that. I don't know. Maybe it's the aliens. I don't know, but I do know this: the State Department is full of shuck and jive as long as you have ever even known about anything they do. And so, it could very well be just a lot of that too, Have they learned how to project? Have they learned how to do plasma projections? Kind of like, playing with a cat and with a laser beam type thing. There's all kinds of different things. Skunk Works is still around, and, back in the day, they actively encouraged the aliens are with this technology, or, they're aliens among us, in the, 50s, 60s, 70s and beyond. They actively were in on that, making it part of the news cycle. So is it the same thing? Are they doing the same thing just with new technology? I mean, tell me, what do y'all think? I mean, could it be?
I don't know.
Something
we've talked about this in depth, and it leaves me with just a big old question mark, to be honest. Yeah. It leaves me with okay, there is something weird out there that people can't explain. And it's very clear there's a whole group of folks trying to keep the truth from a lot of folks.
I think one of the things, Papa B, that's very much apparent to me is the transmedium capabilities of the craft. And perhaps there is some sort of temporal distortion, ability to come and go in and out of multiple phases of what Einstein has talked about in his theory of relativity. I don't know, but I do know this, that nothing that I've seen on some of these vehicles, like my friend Lou said, exhibits anything that's remotely close to our near peer adversaries' technology. The ability to stop and do 64 Gs and turn and then go right into the ocean. What is it? I don't know. You know, like you said, it could be spiritual. Very much. Everything's energy, right? Everything is energy. So I'm not sure, but I do know this. With technology today, it's harder and harder for the government, I think, to subvert a lot of these stories and things that are out there. So we'll see.
I agree. And, so maybe it's going to come to a point where, they're not going to be able to like cover up if that's what they're doing, or shade the truth any longer, if that's what it is. I mean, I read stories about people that you're talking about, that have seen alien technology, seen these quote unquote aliens, they call them, malevolent beings or something like that, demons, if you will. I just don't know. None of us know, but like I said, I do know the history of the State Department, and they are very, very good, at what they do. And so I wouldn't put it past it being something that we've, our people have conjured somehow.
Yep.
And, and they're using further, shuck and jive techniques to keep it under wraps. I don't know. Anyway.
Very possible.
Interesting discussions, though.
Oh, yeah, man.
Great. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Papa. Appreciate you, Papa. In 272-9228 if you want to get in before we close up shop. It looks like Zelensky offered a trade. I'll give you our latest drone stuff if you give us some of those Tomahawks.
Yep. And I think that the president showed a willingness to be interested in that as well.
And I still think a lot of this is like flexing to get Putin back to the negotiating table.
Because even if he gets the Tomahawks, he has to either have vertical launch systems like you find on boats or a ground launch system. And they don't have that. So that would mean another tranche of money and equipment transfer. So it's not going to be like instantaneous. But what it does do is it tells them FAFO, and you're going to start having long-range strikes throughout Russia, and it's going to destabilize.
Yeah, and when we say Tomahawk cruise missiles, like the missile itself is like a pretty badass weapon. You add, like, think of the Iran strike, the Midnight Hammer strike. You add to that the delivery from a submarine hundreds of miles away that then immediately disappears. That's a whole other level.
It is, and there's several models, and the big model they want's the one that can do almost 1,550 miles, which is you can reach out and touch all the way up to Nova Cybers from that. So, but it's it'll be effective, and it would be very. Well, it depends on if we take the lead, if we're going to give them it and then keep on a short leash. Oh, well, you can't attack this target. You can't attack that target. That would be meaningless to me, but we'll see.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joy, Eddie, and all the rest of the gang. It's old Daddy-O.
Hey, what up, Daddy-O? How you doing, Daddy-O?
Man, just another day in paradise. I ain't mad at nobody. Hey, I wanted to break the monotony real quick. Something happened to me in Publix yesterday. I went in there for some hamburger, and I ate at Taco Bell, and I was standing there and passed a little gas, and this woman rolled up in a shopping cart and looking at some chicken. She said, "Damn, they got some bad meat in this case. I ain't buying."
That's funny.
Daddy, you can't be crop dusting people at the grocery store.
I didn't know no one was around. I thought I walked up fast enough.
Like the produce has already been sprayed.
He looked at me and said, "There's some bad meat in this case. I ain't buying that."
That's funny. That's so funny.
Rolled on off.
No wonder it's 2 pounds for $1.
Chicken is bad.
That's my thought of the day. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you, Daddy-O.
Let's go to line two. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Crawdad.
Hey,
Crawdaddy.
Hey, Crawdad.
I identify as a crustacean. Is that okay?
That's fine.
But don't mess with me. I will pinch you.
That's right.
We have been tricked and lied to since the beginning because time and space are a construction so that we function in this level.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There are many other levels because when they were trying to get Yeshua to explain things at the steps of the temple years ago, and they said, "So, Rabbi, you know so much. Tell us, where is Yahweh?" He says, "The Father in heaven has many realms." It gets translated all the way down into Latin from Greek and Aramaic when it started. Now the word is mansion, which in the original context was the land outside realm of this three-dimensional where those who have passed on can still be found, the levels beyond reality of life and death. And then the Lord God, the Word, dies in the body, and the Spirit, of course, continues. And he says, now, you too can be with me and the Father and do this. But you have to remember, only through me can you get to this place. You do not listen to the liar, the Iblis, the deceiver, the enemy, who just wants to use you as a tool. You're just a meat puppet. Don't be a tool. Do not listen to that. Cover yourself, and your armor is your spiritual self. And so now that I have said that, that is telling the truth. I have seen things that I don't want to see anymore, and I try to keep myself every day as a penitent man. I am very penitent many times a day. Joey, your mom was a wonderful lady. I did not know your dad, but yes, we all went to school the same place, and you will see her again. She's fine watching over you. Your dad is watching over you, and the Holy Spirit is watching over you, and you're doing a good job. Keep on spreading the good word, okay?
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, Crawdaddy.
But my dad's still alive. He's out fishing off the
He's
coast.
still watching.
Yeah, but you're still doing a good job.
Still watching you.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I guess.
He's a
Not
dad,
really.
dude.
I mean, he's
He's a
kind
dad.
of he's preoccupied with work and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm
Maybe
looking
I'll go
forward
out
to seeing
fishing
him.
with him. You know, when's the last time you and Dad went out on the boat?
It's been a second. Because the last time I went down there, we went on the boat to just go eat.
Yeah.
Because it was faster to get to Orange Beach by boat than car.
Been a while though, hasn't it?
Been a second, yeah.
Sure, Dad.
No, I've talked to him about it. It's kind of like, I do my writing on the weekends. And so what I need to do is get a few in the can, because what happens is I leave on a Friday, unless I take time off. I leave on a Friday afternoon.
Right.
I get down there. I got about a day.
Yep.
My usual writing time is on Sunday. So it's kind of like having to block out and pre-plan for it, which, I kind of like to just be in the flow of things.
I know, but it's your dad. It's worth it.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Thank you.
Remember that.
272-9228. We got to hit this final break. Thank you, my adopted dads, for that advice.
I'm just a brother.
I'm glad you're here, Hannah, because it was like, I'm Joey Clark, and here are my two middle-aged male friends for the longest time.
Where do I come in on this?
Refreshing is what I would say. That's how you come in on this. Refreshingly.
Definitely. And like today, when
I'm
we
gonna
had
look at him all day.
The woman talk. I mean, it was great to have a woman sitting here going.
I feel like my face more than it should.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
New CBS Tonight.
Please get out of the way!
Detective Danny Reagan from Blue Bloods in a new city.
Trouble follows you, huh?
Only in Boston. With a new partner.
Danny, you have a reputation.
Yeah, for getting things done. Johnny Wahlberg. Sometimes dotting I's and crossing T's has to come second to right and wrong. Sonequa Martin Green.
It would be a problem if he wasn't right so often.
The new CBS original Boston Blue.
Ready to run it back, Brooklyn?
Try and stop me, Beantown.
Boston Blue tonight at 9 p.m. on WAKA.
Hi, I'm Brian McMahon with Turf Stalkers. Within a few months of advertising with Blue Water, our customer base doubled. If you're looking for similar results, we highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Now, you like this one?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Catchy.
Is that you?
Yeah. Is this the high school?
What is that in the back? Are you doing a trumpet?
Yeah, it's the trumpet sound.
But you didn't play the
And
trumpet.
other no, most of this is synth. But then I'm playing the guitar and playing the bass.
You got the...
You got a little catchy one of these happens. That's great.
Joey, I'm going to come over this weekend.
Okay.
Cool. Dude, your grandpa would freak out if a woman showed up at the door and asked for Joey.
I don't think so.
Joey Clark.
Are you
here?
kidding me?
I think he'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm sure he would be cool, but
He's
like
pretty cool.
behind
He's like,
you and
know
her
what he'd
back,
say?
he'd be going,
Thank
yes.
God I thought he was gay. Thank God.
I swear he was going to go into the precinct. Let's go to Chad from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Chad, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you guys?
Doing good,
Life's
Chad.
all right.
No, just listening. Y'all, what I pictured was like somebody's like playing the air guitar, a couple of people dancing.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Shaking that groove thing.
Absolutely, you got it. That's true all the time. I get made fun of daily.
Me too, buddy.
It's completely all right. I'm confident, and they can make fun all they want to.
There you go. Let them have it.
That's it. So, yeah, I hope everybody's having a good weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to it. Today's Friday.
Yep.
So it's always a good day when it's Friday, right?
Are you still doing the 50% off, Chad, because boss is out of town?
Hey, as long as Ray's here, not here, what he don't know will not hurt. All right. So I don't know if we can do 50% off, but we can certainly.
Eddie.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can definitely figure something out. It's a good time to call when Ray's not here.
It is.
So because we're hungrier than he is. All
Yep.
right? He's I don't know if y'all seen him recently, but he's thin,
Mhm.
and I'm not. So
Exactly.
I've got a bigger grocery bill than he does. So now is the perfect time to come in and buy floors.
And the number's still the same, 285-8117?
Absolutely. Yep. Same number, 285-8117. Even better, call my cell phone, and that way you can get to talk to me directly, and I'll be able to help you through all of it. 201-4506.
There you go.
That's the one I like better than all of them.
I'll call you tonight about 2:00.
Yeah, please do. I'll be wide awake, I'm sure. Yeah, if not, I'll be happy to take a phone call. I'm always willing to talk. So,
Well, appreciate it, Chad. Good hearing you,
yes,
too.
sir. Man, y'all have a good weekend.
You too, man. See you, Chad.
So we learn anything today?
We didn't talk about, but Prince Andrew is out.
Prince Andrew is out?
Out of the royal stuff because of, he's a perv, and he finally came out. And
I thought he said he had a sweating condition.
He's got
or a
that
condition
too,
where he
but-
didn't sweat
Yeah, he's got that too.
because he was in the Falklands War.
Yeah, that war. He's got PTSD from that. Oh, jeez.
I can't remember. I'm losing the author's name, but it was described as two old bald men fighting over a comb. That war was just pointless.
True.
Funny.
I'm going to start my Templar costume. So
Okay,
you're going to need to come up with either Knights Hospitalier or Order of St. George or something.
I'll have to find something fast, because we only got Halloween will be upon us
Like
for
a
too
week or
long.
so. We
had
No,
2
next
weeks.
Friday. It'd be
2
next
weeks
Friday,
from
or
today.
no, 2 weeks from
Yeah.
next Friday.
Yeah, next week's 24.
Right on.
So we'll have to definitely dress up
Oh,
on
definitely.
that Friday.
We'll have a good
Listen,
time.
I have a real bastard sword made like William Wallace sword.
Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh, it's a bad. I'll bring it in.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to picture
We'll cut maybe we could get some pumpkins and we could cut them or something.
I'll dress up as the army guy if you bring in the flamethrower.
Oh shit!
I'll be that plastic army guy, man. We can set it up in the parking lot. We're smashing pumpkins. We're killing pumpkins. I'm all about this. When we
If
doing
you
this,
got some inflatables, like big goofy inflatables, we can.
I know some realtor friends. Well, not really friends, but of mine that I'll steal their
Like the
inflatables. We'll
dancing
bring them
guys.
over here.
That guy dances so good. It's
Yeah.
so hard. He's so good. He's all over the place. That dancing guy.
So I think we got to get that in order.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a must.
Also,
Sounds like a Halloween carnival.
Another reminder that the fall is upon us, and stop by Sweet Creek's Pumpkin
That's
Festival.
right.
That's right.
That's
This
weekend.
weekend. Free admission. They're going to be open 10 to 4 Saturday and Sunday with that big old pumpkin festival. And it's a great place to take the kids, take the family, enjoy yourself, and be sure to find Rita Ingram over there. Be like, hey, that Joey Clark fellow was saying, stop by. And they should have a great event there. In fact, the negative reaction to their Charlie Kirk display is now, like, I think still the top story at 1819 News.
Wouldn't
responding
doubt that
to
at
it.
all. There's a
So-
lot of ignorant people out there.
Well, and all those ignorant people are like, we got to boycott it. It's like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it'll just more people will show up.
They
So-
probably weren't going to be shopping there anyway.
I was going to say they're
Just to clear it up,
going to be missing.
it was Charlie Kirk's cartoon character that was on South Park. That's what it looks like to me. But yet
They
people
did it out of hay bales. So
out
that's
of
what
hay
it
bales.
looks
So
like.
it was, to me, it was funny, artistic, and great time
and
to
happy
do it. And it was
birthday,
his
Charlie. It
birthday.
was a simple message of happy birthday, Charlie.
I don't understand the nuts coming out.
Well,
I
no,
just
it's
don't.
gotten to the point of, and this is why I've been blocking liberally.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody I expect can't help themselves. It's become a political symbol.
It is.
It's not just about Charlie anymore. It's about what he means
It's the resistance
to a lot of
Well,
different
kind of
people.
like the Trump hats, the MAGA hats. There's a guy kicked off a Delta flight the other day for a MAGA hat.
No.
In this
What?
day and time, we're
Kicked off?
living in. Yep.
What?
They asked him to put it away because somebody was offended. So the people next to him said, "Hey, would you put it on? I want to take your picture." So he put it on real quick, take the picture. The chick come by again, went and got the pilot, kicked him off.
Let me tell you something.
And he said, "This is what killed me." He said, the pilot said, and this videoed. He said, "The reason we're kicking you off the plane is because we asked you to do something and you refused to do it." And he's like, "No, I just put it on for a second, but I took it back off." He's like, "No." So if we were in a dangerous situation, I have to know that if I ask anybody to do anything, that they will do it and respect my authority. You prove to me you wouldn't. You're off my plane.
How about I would kick your ass?
I would
how
say,
about that one?
I'm going to jail anyway. Me and the pilot are going down.
Trust my word on that.
I'm sorry. What was your word we were using earlier with Helen? The feminization, the great feminization.
Yes.
Sorry, I got to use the old Don Markwell word after hearing that story. The pussification.
100%. 100%.
Come on, man.
Yep.
You hurt my feelings
Yeah.
for putting on your hat.
From my understanding, 3 or 4 of the people on the plane got up and left with him. Is that- I'm not gonna-
Yes, that's good.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, you sticking around for happy hour?
Oh yeah, man. I got snacks, got
Yeah,
donuts,
donuts, and
Yep.
Reese's stuff.
I've got questions for
Wait,
Greg.
how many Reese's have you already eaten?
There's
You ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
there's
destroyed
quite
like
a few.
half
I
of
mean,
them.
there's-
Okay.
We'll need to open another pack here in a second.
All right, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Anyway, appreciate all y'all being here today.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy.
And y'all stay tuned to Happy Hour with Greg Budell.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Kusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump again hosting the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky today for talks